Chapter 645. Xiaofan was extremely satisfied with his current cultivation level. However, his cultivation was not over yet. There are still 9 supreme battle will elixirs left. They can provide me with a huge amount of mental energy, allowing me to continue to break through to the next level. I'll continue to break through the exterminating sky decimating earth mental technique in one go. Very quickly, Xiaofan calmed himself down and entered his cultivation state again. He took out the second supreme battle will elixir. Brother Xiao, don't worry and cultivate. We'll protect you. At that moment, the black and white child had already refined the eye of the divine eagle. A bright light shone from between his eyebrows. Xiaofan nodded and smiled. The second supreme battle will elixir was already in his mouth. Just like the first supreme battle will elixir, when the second immortal elixir entered his mouth, the elixir's energy spread and turned into a mental wave that surged into Xiaofan's consciousness. The solidified mental energy planet started to absorb the abundant elixir's energy. The deep mental energy foundation filled Xiaofan's entire consciousness. Xiaofan started to break through to the 23rd mental energy finger technique. However, to completely cultivate the 23rd mental energy finger technique was many times more difficult than the 22nd mental energy finger technique. After one's mental energy solidified, every time one cultivated a mental energy finger technique, the difficulty would increase exponentially. The foundation needed would also increase exponentially. To complete the 23rd mental energy finger technique, one had to pass through hundreds of millions of hand seals. Xiaofan's hands kept forming hand seals. He was completely in a mental state. Very quickly, the second supreme battle will elixir's energy was consumed. Xiaofan did not hesitate. He took out the third immortal elixir and consumed it. He took out the third immortal pill and consumed it. The fifth pill. The fifth pill. Until Xiaofan consumed the 10th supreme battle will elixir. After he consumed all the elixir's energy, Xiaofan woke up from his cultivation state. Time had passed. 7 days and 7 nights had passed. Xiaofan opened his eyes and retracted his mental energy and aura. He calmed himself down and thought to himself, the 23rd mental energy finger technique is too difficult to break through. I've continuously consumed the supreme battle will pills and consumed an entire bottle of pills, but I still haven't completed the 23rd psychic finger technique. I've only managed to break through the 90 million psychic finger technique. I'm still a step away from completing the psychic finger technique. Even though it was an immortal pill, as the exterminating sky decimating earth mental technique continued to be cultivated, the effects of the pill were getting weaker and weaker. Xiaofan estimated. If he wanted to continue his studies, he would be able to break through to the later stages of the finger technique. Perhaps 10, 100, or even 1,000 supreme battle will pills would be consumed. Although the 23rd mental finger technique hadn't been completed yet, Xiaofan's soul-mind power had improved a little. For example, he could now monitor and investigate a radius of 60 miles with just a slight coverage of his spiritual waves. Moreover, the quality of the dagger created by his spiritual waves was also closer to perfection. When it was shot out, its lethality was even more terrifying. Forget it. I'll wait until I obtain a mental immortal pill similar to the supreme battle will pill in the future before completing the 23rd psychic finger technique. Once I've officially completed the 23rd psychic finger technique, my soul will skyrocket and its power will increase tenfold. Xiaofan collected his thoughts and looked at Black White and Yu Yangzi. Brothers, we've been dormant for a long time. It's time to go out and get some fresh air, Xiaofan said with a smile. Jiang Zi's death must be because Xing Qinzi hates me to the bone. I'm afraid he's been looking for me all over the place these days, right? Ha 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 ha, let's go out, brothers. Let's go. Black White and Yu Yangzi also laughed. Although Xing Qinzi's forces were enormous and he had refined an extremely powerful artifact on him, Xiaofan's display of spirit and bearing made them completely unafraid of Xing Qinzi. They were also full of confidence in Xiaofan. "Brother Xiaofan, let's hurry up. There's still about 20 days before the 4th district's ranking competition ends. In these 20 days, I'll try my best to kill as many immortals as I can and earn points." Whoosh whoosh whoosh, the three charged out of the sea. Meanwhile, Xing Chunzi was still in a state of extreme anger. He was on the verge of going berserk. Dozens of immortals were standing next to Master Xing Chunzi, trembling like cicadas in winter. It's been a full 10 days. Thousands of immortals have been searching for Xiaofan, but there's been no news at all. Xing Chunzi roared furiously. "This is outrageous. All of you are trash. All of you are trash. You're just looking for a mortal. Big brother Xing Chunzi, please calm down." The leaders of Xing Chunzi's team immediately cried out in terror. "We'll search for Xiaofan again. We'll capture him even if we have to dig 3 feet into the ground. All of you, search for him. If you can't find him, I'll kill all of you." Xing Chunzi's face contorted with rage. Yes. The immortals under Xing Chunzi's command scattered in all directions, determined to capture Xiaofan at all costs. At the same time, the other teams of immortals in the 4th district were also searching for Xiaofan's whereabouts. Of course, battles between immortals were ongoing all the time as well. After emerging from the bottom of the sea, Xiaofan, the black-white child, and Yu Yangzi flew eastward. Along the way, Xiaofan pushed his psychic waves to the limit, monitoring everything within a 30-kilometer radius. "Now, not only do I have the boots of speed and the speed of an ordinary level 4 true immortal, but my physical strength is also equal to 40 immortal dragons. Moreover, after strengthening my soul and mind, the weapons I create with my psychic power aren't any weaker than ordinary immortal artifacts. If I encounter an immortal now, I don't even need to launch a sneak attack. I can kill them in one move, can I?" Xiaofan's heart also began to stir. He actually had the thought of encountering immortals. To fight head-on. To test his combat strength. However, at this moment, Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's voice resounded in the air above the 4th district. "Immortals who have entered the 4th district, there are 20 days left until the end of the preliminaries. There are 2,387 people left in the 4th district. Hurry up and fight. After 20 days, if the number of people left in the 4th district is still higher than 100. Then, all explorers who have entered the 4th district will be wiped out. Every day from now on, this Emperor's divine soul will be in the 4th district to count the number of people left." "Oh?" Xiaofan was taken aback. He immediately touched his nose. There are still 2,387 people left, at this moment, in the world outside the 10 districts. 10 platforms. Whoosh, the light of teleportation enveloped the 9th platform. Soon, 100 immortals appeared. They stood on the 9th platform. These 100 immortals, one by one. Above their heads floated a considerable amount of points. All of them were covered in immortal light, and all of them had refined and controlled their Dharma treasures. The 100 people in the 9th district's preliminaries had been born. "Is junior brother Xiaofan out?" Xiao Mingchu growled. At the same time, Jiao Lanzi, Tao Tai, Xiao Mingchu's servants, Dongfang Qin, Fang Ling, and Xiaohan's servants all glanced over, their hearts trembling. However, the 100 people who appeared on the 9th platform were all immortals. There was not a single mortal, and Xiaofan was nowhere to be seen. "Junior brother Xiaofan hasn't come out yet?" Dongfang Qin muttered. "There is still one district left, and the 100 people who will enter the arena have not been decided yet. Could it be that junior brother Xiaofan is among them?" Those who were concerned about Xiaofan focused their attention on the last empty platform. As for the other mortals and immortals who were indifferent to Xiaofan, they also shifted their attention over. It's about to end. The preliminaries of the 10 districts are about to end. Each district will produce 100 people, and there are a total of 1,000 people. Among them, 500 mortals and 500 immortals will enter the arena. I wonder what the rules of the arena are. These mortals and immortals who had obtained a place in the arena were all sighing. The preliminaries were extremely cruel. After entering the arena, the competition would probably be even more inhumane. Of course, from another perspective, the competition was cruel. The more benefits one obtained, the greater the risk. The 4th District. Xiaofan, Black and White Child, and Fish Arm were flying and scouting at the same time. They wanted to find the nearby immortal teams to hunt and kill. With Xiaofan's current mental wave scanning range, it was more advantageous for him to hunt than any other immortal. He had a scouting range of 60 kilometers. Once someone appeared within this scouting range, they would not be able to escape Xiaofan's eyes. "Brothers, let's speed up," Xiaofan said with a smile. Whoosh! Black and White Child summoned an immortal cloud, allowing Xiaofan and Fish Arm to stand on it. The immortal cloud's flying speed reached its limit, and it flashed past. After flying for a full 4 hours. Finally, about 40 kilometers away from Xiaofan's group, an immortal team appeared. This immortal team was also flying in the air. There were about 40 people, and it was considered a relatively large team. The leader of the immortal team had 340,000 points hovering above his head. Immortal light circulated around his body, and it was obvious that he had refined and controlled an artifact. Moreover, among the 40 immortals under the leader of the immortal team, there were 3 who had refined artifact. It was a rather powerful immortal team. Xiaofan paused for a moment, then said to Black and White Child and Fish Arm, "Brothers, do you want to do something big?" "Oh." Black and White Child and Fish Arm looked at Xiaofan. "There's a team ahead of us with more than 40 immortals. Once we kill them all, we'll have millions of points to split." Xiaofan licked his lips. About 40 miles away from Xiaofan's group, the team of immortals was flying aggressively. More than 40 immortals had released their immortal senses and were searching in all directions. "Boss, we've been searching for so many days, but we still can't find the whereabouts of that mortal Xiaofan. This is really... It seems like finding Xiaofan isn't that easy. It's like finding a needle in a haystack," one of the immortals under the leader grumbled. "Continue searching," the leader of the immortals said coolly. "Continue searching. Xiaofan has more than 500,000 points and thousands of artifact. It's worth our time to search for him." Shockingly. The leader frowned and waved his hand. "All of you, stop. Boss, what are you doing? I seem to sense a hidden danger." The leader's eyes blazed. "There's a faint murderous intent in the air. All right, come out, I've already sensed you." As soon as he finished speaking. Whoosh! Xiaofan, Black and White Child and Fish Arm had already appeared several kilometers away from the team. "Oh." The immortal leader's eyes focused on Xiaofan. His expression suddenly became extremely interesting. "Xiaofan. Mortal Xiaofan. Ha 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 ha. You can wear out iron shoes in fruitless searching, only to find it by chance. Xiaofan, we've been searching for you for days. I didn't expect you to deliver yourself to us. Good, good, this is great. To be continued." Chapter 646. The immortal leader of this team was a little strange. Even without his immortal sense touching Xiaofan and the others, he could sense some killing intent with his sixth sense and force Xiaofan out. Ibdu. Of course, this was also because Xiaofan had no intention of launching a sneak attack. Instead, he was intentionally getting closer to the immortal party. Perhaps Xiaofan wanted to test his ability to fight against immortals head-on. He wanted to make the most effective and accurate assessment of his current battle prowess. As a result, Xiaofan did not try to hide himself. Otherwise, if he wrapped himself in the spirit turtle's true chi and approached silently, it would be very difficult for the immortal leader to discover him. Ha 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 ha. When he saw Xiaofan, the indifference on the leader's face vanished without a trace, replaced by fanaticism, madness, and hysteria. The 40-some immortals behind him roared with laughter, all of them excited and greedy. The immortals stared repeatedly at Xiaofan, at the points hovering above his head. "Oh? Is it very funny?" Xiaofan smiled indifferently, and his killing intent gradually retracted. Black and White Sun and Yu Yangzi stood on both sides of Xiaofan. They didn't make a sound, but secretly, the two of them were paying attention to the Dharma treasures in their bodies. Once the battle started, they would immediately take out their Dharma treasures to cover Xiaofan and fight. Moreover, they were now more and more impressed by Xiaofan's courage. Facing a team of more than 40 immortals, many of whom had refined magic treasures, Xiaofan was actually fearless and wanted to swallow the whole team in one bite. As expected. True enough. Xiaofan. You're just a mortal, but your points have reached this level. The leading immortal sighed. Earlier, I received information from the Son of the Stars that you had more than 500,000 points. However, now that I've seen you with my own eyes, it turns out that your points are already nearing 700,000. Xiaofan, you're a fat sheep. Considering your current points, I'm afraid you're as rich as the Son of the Stars. I bet you'll be one of the best in the 4th region. Ha ha ha. Once I kill you, everything you have will be stripped away by me. Ha 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 ha. At that time, my ranking will surpass Son of Star in one fell swoop. He would be able to obtain first place in the 4th region's qualifier. He entered the arena. They had a huge advantage. Ha 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 ha. It's really a windfall, and it also seems to indicate my rise this time. Unstoppable. The immortal leader's eyes shone with a dreamy light, as though he was imagining a beautiful scene in the future. Heh, Xiaofan sneered. You're so confident that you can kill me without a hitch? Since I'm able to obtain so many points, it means that the number of immortals I've killed is no less than yours. Are you really going to underestimate me? Shut up. The immortal leader looked at Xiaofan with disdain. Xiaofan, at the end of the day, you're just a mortal. You might have some tricks up your sleeve to kill some useless immortals, but in front of me, you have no ability to resist. I think most of your points were obtained by luck, right? Furthermore, even if you refined an immortal treasure, you wouldn't be able to use its power. Mortals are mortals, after all. It's a waste for mortals to wield immortal treasures. Xiaofan, you must die today, and the 2 trash immortals beside you will die with you. You're too confident. Xiaofan shook his head and laughed. That's why I'm so confident. Alright, Xiaofan, I'll show you the difference between mortals and immortals. The next moment, boom. Boom. 2 beams of immortal light shot out of the immortal leader's body. One of them transformed into a suit of golden armor, and the other transformed into a giant spiked club. Ha ha ha. Xiaofan, you ant. I've refined 2 immortal items, one for offense and one for defense. Even if you have the ability to kill immortals, it's useless. I'll kill you as easily as killing a pig or a dog. The leader of the immortals roared with laughter. He controlled both offensive and defensive celestial artifacts, which complemented each other well. He was much more powerful than ordinary immortals. After the leader of the immortals took out the immortal artifact he had refined and controlled, the 40 immortals under him spread out in a fan shape. Immortal light brewed and steamed, and they surrounded Xiaofan, He and Yu Yangzi. Their expressions were ferocious, and they revealed their ferocious glints. Some of the immortals roared with laughter. Boss, the Son of the Stars wants to capture Xiaofan alive. You can't torture him to death. The immortal leader looked askance at Xiaofan, his eyes glittering. Capture him alive? Humph. Xiaofan has nearly 700,000 points, and it seems that he hasn't refined any immortal treasures or immortal treasures. Such a large number of points means that he has a reserve of refining power in his Dantian region. Why would he give such a fat pig to the son of the stars? Ha 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 ha. I've changed my mind. I'll kill this fat pig and take everything he has. Then I'll refine a few more immortal treasures and immortal treasures. When the time comes, I'll be the one to kill the son of the stars. There's no reason for the son of the stars to flaunt his prowess. I'll be the king of the fourth region. The immortal leader spoke without the slightest scruple, completely disregarding Xiaofan. It was as if he considered Xiaofan to be a dead man. At the same time, Xiaofan sent a soul transmission to the Black-White Master and Yu Yangzi, big brothers, when it comes time to fight, I'll join you. Please leave this area. I'd like to see if I can take on this team of immortals on my own, and also to test my current strength. Brother Xiaofan, you want to kill them all by yourself? Well, why don't we use our treasures and help you from the side? The Black-White Master and Yu Yangzi found Xiaofan's decision a bit bold. After all, they were up against more than 40 immortals, and they weren't to be trifled with. One had to know that none of the surviving immortals in the fourth region were weaklings. Moreover, the leader of the immortals had refined 2 immortal treasures. He wouldn't be easy to deal with. The only exception was the immortal leader. Among the team of immortals. And 3 immortals. They had also refined and controlled immortal treasures. The Black-White Master and the Black-White Master were worried about Xiaofan's safety. It's fine. Big brothers, quickly escape. I won't be able to take care of you in a chaotic battle, Xiaofan insisted. Well, all right. Brother Xiaofan, you must be careful. However, you've refined a speed-type treasure. If you really can't hold them off, we believe that you'll be able to retreat quickly. That's true. Xiaofan smiled. The next moment, suddenly, the Black-White Master and the Black-White Master attacked without any warning. Rumble, rumble, both of them threw out an immortal talisman. Lightning Strike Talisman. Back at the bottom of the sea, the Black-White Master had refined and controlled 5 Lightning Strike Talismans. This was a one-time use immortal talisman. Once it was burned, it would release immortal divine lightning. Although it wasn't very powerful, it could heavily injure an ordinary level 3 true immortal. There was no problem. Then, the Black-White Master gave 2 Lightning Strike Talismans to the Black-White Master. At that moment, both of them used a Lightning Strike Talisman at the same time. 2 dazzling bolts of lightning flashed like a bolt from the blue. Kacha! Kacha! 2 bolts of lightning struck the team of immortals in front of them. This happened too suddenly. The team of immortals did not expect Xiaofan and the other 2 to attack first. Logically speaking, the 3 of them would not dare to attack a powerful team of over 40 people. They should be thinking about how to escape. Therefore, the Black-White Master and the Black-White Master's sudden attack caught the team off guard. Bang! Bang! The 2 Lightning Strike Talismans shattered 2 immortals. The refining power of their point-accumulating treasures immediately entered the Black-White Master and the Black-White Master's bodies. Moreover, when the Black-White Master and the Black-White Master used the Lightning Strike Talismans, they used the dazzling bolts of lightning to increase their speed to the maximum. In a flash, the 2 of them were already more than 10 li away. Damn it! Kill! The 2 Lightning Strike Talismans not only killed the 2 immortals, but also injured a few others, causing chaos. Amidst the chaos, dozens of immortals roared and chased after the Black-White Master and the Black-White Master. The leader of the immortals roared. Don't worry about those 2 small fries. Get rid of Xiaofan first. Xiaofan, don't even think about escaping. Die. At the command of the immortal leader, dozens of immortals surrounded Xiaofan, sealing off his escape routes to prevent him from escaping. In the blink of an eye, the leader of the immortals smiled sinisterly. He waved the wolf-tooth club in his hand and smashed it down on Xiaofan's head. This smash, toppling mountains and overturning seas, crushing everything, shattering the 9 provinces. Demon god traversing the sky. Xiaofan. Die. The leader of the Immortals seemed to have heard Xiaofan's body explode. However, immortal light flashed under Xiaofan's feet, and he suddenly accelerated in an unbelievable way, dodging the leader's wolf-tooth club attack and dodging to the left. On Xiaofan's left, 5 Immortals were blocking his way. When they saw Xiaofan, they roared and were about to take him down. Humph! Xiaofan snorted. With a thought, the solid mental planet in his sea of knowledge suddenly wriggled. Under Xiaofan's visualization, dozens of daggers comparable to immortal artifacts appeared at his will. Swoosh! 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 Within an extremely short distance, the daggers formed by Xiaofan's mental energy shot toward the Immortals, blocking his way at a speed faster than the speed of light. It should be noted that after Xiaofan completed the 20-second mental finger technique, the quality of the weapons he visualized was comparable to the immortal artifacts used by ordinary level 2 true immortal disciples in the celestial world. Now, Xiaofan could control these weapons at will. His control of the speed and angle of attack was perfect. Bang! 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 The 5 Immortals blocking the way on the left didn't even have time to grunt before their bodies were pierced by the immortal daggers. The immortal light on their bodies dimmed, and they died. This caused the group of Immortals to panic. Immediately, some of the Immortals started shouting. Watch out! Xiaofan is carrying an immortal artifact. To be continued. Chapter 647. Xiaofan was surrounded by more than 40 Immortals, but he was not afraid. He shuttled through the encirclement and killed 5 Immortals in an instant. Xiaofan knew what was going on. Very good. Now that my solid mind power has been strengthened, the weapons I create are enough to kill a level 2 true immortal. I can kill true immortals without relying on the power of my immortal body. As for the team of Immortals, they thought that Xiaofan had attacked with an immortal artifact, so they all shouted, "This kid has more than 10 dagger-type immortal artifacts on him. Kill him now. Kill him now." Boom! 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 A dense barrage of immortal techniques and immortal weapons attacked Xiaofan. However, Xiaofan's speed was really too fast. Swoosh! Once he activated the boots of divine speed, his speed was comparable to that of a level 4 true immortal. The attacks of the Immortals could not touch Xiaofan at all and even caused accidental injuries among the Immortals. The scene became even more chaotic. I know. This kid is relying on speed and some small immortal artifacts that are easier to control. The leader of the Immortals roared. Don't attack this guy for now. Stand in your positions and surround him. His immortal artifacts are not of high quality and can only kill level 2 true immortals. All of you, use your immortal chi and put up a defensive shield. I'll kill him with my own hands. The leader of the Immortals had refined a defensive immortal artifact armor that could withstand the attacks of level 3 true immortals. Therefore, he was not afraid of Xiaofan. Hearing the leader's command, the Immortals under his command, as expected, they stopped attacking Xiaofan. Instead, they stood in their positions and blocked Xiaofan in the center. Then, the leader of the Immortals would kill Xiaofan. However, Xiaofan did not want to play with them anymore, a bunch of scums. Go to hell. An evil thought flashed through Xiaofan's mind. The solid mind power planet in his sea of consciousness exploded. In an instant, thousands of immortal artifact daggers appeared. They were born with Xiaofan's will. Then, swoosh! 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 Thousands of immortal daggers made of mental power swept out like a swarm of bees. Under Xiaofan's precise control, thousands of psychic daggers spread out, with each 100 daggers aimed at an immortal. In other words, every immortal in this team would have to face 100 psychic daggers. Pooh! Puff! 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 Pft! The sound of the immortal body exploding rang out one after another. In the blink of an eye. Apart from the leader of this team of immortals, there was no one else in this team of immortals. The rest of the immortals were all killed by Xiaofan's psychic daggers. Each of the immortals was riddled with holes. Xiaofan was like an old horse that knew the way. He took out his storage ring and stored the pieces of the celestial immortals into it for future use. At the same time, a huge amount of points, artifacts, and refining power surged into Xiaofan's body like a tide. More than 40 immortals' points were taken by Xiaofan. Xiaofan's points continued to rise, skyrocketing. From nearly 700,000 points to nearly 2 million points. Nearly 2 million points. No one in the fourth zone could compete with him. The scene turned from chaos to silence. Dead silence. The leader of the immortals stared at Xiaofan in disbelief. Just a moment ago, he was the leader with dozens of fans. But now, all of his subordinates had been killed by Xiaofan. Dozens of his subordinates had died at the same time. Xiaofan's killing speed was indescribable. Furthermore, aside from the leader, the other three immortals who had refined and controlled their magical treasures had all been killed. There was no way for them to fight back. A strange cackling sound came from the leader's throat. It sounded like the hooting of an owl. Not only was the leader shocked, but even Black White and Yu Yangzi, who had dodged to the side, were so shocked that their mouths gaped open, speechless. Although Black White and Yu Yangzi were confident in Xiaofan's ability, they had never imagined that Xiaofan could kill more than 40 immortals in an instant. It was as natural as moving clouds and flowing water. The decisiveness of the killing was displayed to the fullest. Brother Xiao, this method of killing immortals, is he still immortal? Yu Yangzi spoke in a dreamy tone. With this kind of attack power, his soul and mind transformed into weapons. Their quality isn't inferior to ordinary immortal artifacts. Thousands of weapons, controlled by Brother Xiaofan's soul, attacked at the fastest speed. This is too powerful, too powerful. Even Big Brother Jia Lanzi would definitely be killed by Brother Xiaofan if he didn't use a supreme-grade immortal artifact and only relied on his own strength to fight Brother Xiaofan. A mortal's cultivation has reached such a level, killing level 2 true immortals as if they were grass. This is an extremely shocking matter. In the immortal realm, even immortal emperors would be shocked. Madness. Whoosh whoosh whoosh, thousands of mental and soul daggers transformed into light and returned to Xiaofan's sea of consciousness. Xiaofan wasn't in a hurry to attack. Instead, he looked at the leader of the immortals like a cat toying with a mouse. How is it? Don't you feel like you're at the mercy of others? You. The leader of the immortals trembled. Xiaofan, you actually have thousands of low-grade immortal artifacts. No. This isn't an immortal artifact. You can't possibly have thousands of immortal artifacts. You've cultivated an immortal art. Understanding dawned on the immortal leader, and he said, I sensed a trace of soul fluctuations. I know. You've cultivated mental strength immortal arts. Mental strength solidification, mental strength materialization, can transform mental strength into all kinds of weapons. Xiaohan, among mortals, you are indeed an incomparably monstrous and heaven-defying existence. After a pause, the immortal suddenly burst into wild laughter. Ha 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 ha. Good. This is also good. Xiaohan, you'll be my companion. I'll kill them all, giving you millions of points. That's good. I won't have to kill any more of my companions. After you kill them, I'll just kill you, and get everything. The immortal leader licked his lips. Millions of points. Once I obtain millions of points, it'll be like a dream. Oh? Xiaofan was slightly taken aback. Even now, you still think you have the ability to kill me, Xiaofan? Ha ha ha. What a fool. The leader of the Immortals' eyes were like torches. Xiaofan, it's true that your soul and mental strength can seize the fortune of heaven and earth. Killing level 2 true Immortals is as easy as killing pigs and dogs. However, if I didn't refine this defensive immortal artifact, I would be killed by you right now. However. Ha ha ha. Xiaofan. I can clearly tell you that this immortal artifact armor of mine can completely defend against the attacks of level 3 true Immortals. Even the attacks of level 4 true Immortals can only cause cracks on this immortal armor. Xiaofan, the limit of your soul weapon's attack is to kill level 2 true Immortals, but it can't break the defense of level 3 true Immortals. Xiaofan, the maximum attack power of your soul weapon can kill a level 2 true Immortal, but it can't break the defense of a level 3 true Immortal. Oh? Xiaofan was stunned. Immediately, the solid mental strength star in his sea of consciousness expanded again. Oh? Xiaofan was stunned. Immediately, the solid mental strength star in his sea of consciousness expanded again. Wang! 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 Thousands of soul and mental strength daggers appeared again and circled around Xiaofan. His dazzling mental power made Xiaofan look like a god that had descended from the heavens. Ha ha ha. It's useless, Xiaofan. You can't break my defense. The leader of the Immortals said confidently. Is that so? Xiaofan smiled coldly. The next moment, kill. Boom! Thousands of soul-type immortal artifacts charged toward the leader of the Immortals like a tide. How can this kind of attack kill me? The leader of the Immortals was completely fearless. Boom! Suddenly, the immortal artifact armor that the leader of the Immortals was wearing emitted a burst of immortal light. Defensive arrays appeared one after another, giving off a feeling of indestructibility. In the blink of an eye, puff! 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 Dagger after dagger landed on the immortal leader's body, forcing him to retreat again and again. Brilliant sparks were burning. Xiaofan attacked with his immortal daggers at an unimaginably fast speed. In the span of a few breaths, the thousands of daggers all landed on the leader of the Immortals. As expected, none of the daggers could break his defense. Ha 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 ha. Xiaofan. You idiot. I've already said that these attacks of yours are unable to break through my defense. Ha 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 ha. Is that all you've got? The leader of the Immortals laughed wildly, as if a heavy burden had been lifted from his shoulders. How about it, Xiaofan? Are you done with your attacks? Now it's my turn to attack, right? Ha ha ha. At this moment, Xiaofan laughed. Do you think soul attacks are so simple? Ha ha ha. Ha. The leader of the Immortals was stunned. Shockingly. The leader of the Immortals discovered something extremely strange. Although the thousands of daggers created by Xiaofan's soul and spirit were all ineffective against the leader of the Immortals, when the daggers struck the surface of the leader's armor, they actually melted. The daggers that were sharp and solid, comparable to immortal artifacts, melted into liquid. The thousands of daggers melted into a pool of liquid that enveloped the leader of the Immortals. Much of the spiritual liquid even seeped into the immortal armor. Huh? This is? The leader of the Immortals was stunned. In the next moment, explode! Xiaofan shouted. Just as he finished speaking. Bang! The spiritual liquid melted from the daggers suddenly exploded. This explosion acted on the leader of the Immortals, on the immortal armor. This explosion was simply earth-shattering. In an instant, space shattered. Time and space reversed. Crack 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 crack. The leader of the Immortals coughed up blood as he exploded. The surface of his armor was already full of holes and cracks. Piece by piece, they were peeling off. This explosion acted on the inside of the immortal armor, directly destroying some of the defensive formations sealed within. This caused the immortal armor to be damaged from the inside to the outside, almost beyond repair. Then, you can die too. Xiaofan's body moved, and he was already in front of the leader of the immortals. No! Xiaofan! Don't kill me! Finally, the leader of the immortals sensed the cold of death approaching. He cried and begged for mercy at the top of his lungs. Xiaofan! Spare my life! Let me go! You bang! Xiaofan punched out. 40 immortal dragon strength directly struck the leader of the immortal's body. To be continued. Chapter 648. After destroying the immortal leader's armor, it was as easy as blowing off dust for Xiaofan to kill him. A punch landed on the immortal leader's body, shattering the immortal armor. The immortal leader's tendons and bones were broken, his internal organs shattered, his meridians twisted, and his blood vessels ruptured. Fresh blood sprayed from his mouth. The leader of the immortals howled in a low voice. Xiaofan, you're too vicious. You're ruthless. You're ruthless. Pang! Another punch completely blew up the immortal leader. At the same time, the immortal leader's points, immortal equipment, and refinement power were all absorbed by Xiaofan. The points above Xiaofan's head broke through the 2 million mark. He had reached a whole new height. Moreover, the battle with the immortal leader had given Xiaofan a whole new understanding of soul and mind attacks. When the soul and mind transformed into weapons and failed to kill the enemy, the mind could be broken down into drops of extremely dense mind liquid, which would seep into the enemy's body and detonate. The explosive force could be used internally to disintegrate the enemy's defenses. This is great. Now I can rely on my own power to destroy an entire team of immortals without resorting to any sneak attacks. Xiaofan now had a lot of confidence in himself. Back then, Xiaofan had used shady demonic methods to kill Heaven Sun, Dark Spirit, and the other immortals. But now, he could do it openly. He could kill immortals. Like slaughtering pigs and dogs. This improvement could be said to be heaven-defying. Star Sun, I, Xiaofan, am not afraid of you anymore. Xiaofan looked at the distant horizon, a hint of fighting and killing intent tugging at the corner of his mouth. I'll avenge Big Brother Su Huizi one day, Master Xing Chenzi. At this moment, the black and white suns and Yu Yangzi flew over to Xiaofan's side. Both of their faces were filled with shock that they had never seen before in their lives. Brother Xiaofan, you're really brave. You single-handedly destroyed a team of powerful immortals. Yu Yangzi stammered. Even if Big Brother Jia Lanzi was here, I'm afraid he wouldn't be able to do better than you, Brother Xiaofan. It's just that this team of immortals is too weak. Xiaofan wasn't arrogant at all. Brothers, this is the 4th region. Our greatest enemy is the Son of Stars. As for the other teams, he could easily wipe them out. Most importantly, he had to kill the Son of Star. That was the way to go. Let's go, we'll continue flying, search and hunt along the way. Alright. The three of them packed up and flew all the way north. Xiaofan's mental energy ripples also spread out, capturing every single movement within a 60-mile radius. However, after a whole day, Xiaofan and the others did not find any hunting targets. At night, Xiaofan and the others also found a random valley to rest in. The night passed quietly as he rested and built up his strength. On the morning of the 2nd day, Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's voice resounded in the 4th region again. Explorers and immortals of the 4th region, there are still 19 days before the 4th region closes. According to the scan of a strand of my divine soul, there are currently 1,408 survivors in the 4th region. Only 100 will survive in the end. Let's continue the competition. After a pause, Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's voice was still explaining, I have already announced the rules. There will be 100 winners from each of the 10 regions. They will be ranked according to their accumulated points. Those with higher accumulated points will have an advantage when they enter the arena. Currently, the first place in the 4th region is Xiaofan. 2,020,000 points, second place. Son of Stars. 750,000 points, third place. Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's voice announced the top 10 existences in the 4th region. Then, his voice faded away. Oh, the ranking has been announced to the entire 4th region. Xiaofan laughed involuntarily. Brother Xiaofan, as expected, you're currently ranked first in the 4th region. With millions of points, no one can beat you. That Son of Stars only has 750,000 points. The gap between him and you, Brother Xiaofan, is too big. Black-White Child laughed. I wonder if Son of Stars will vomit blood from anger when he hears the ranking, given his conceit. Yu Yangzi also laughed. Up until now, Black and White Sun and Fish Stem's points were naturally not in the top 10. They might not even be in the top 100. However, they knew that if they followed Xiaofan, they would definitely obtain a perfect result in the end. It's fine. No matter what, Son of Stars must die. Xiaofan smiled. Let's go, brothers. Let's hurry up and hunt. Currently, there are still 1,408 immortals. We have 1,408 immortals, so we have to get rid of the extra ones. In a call where Son of Stars was, dozens of immortal subordinates surrounded Xing Qinzi like stars surrounding a bright moon. Naturally, Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's voice was heard by Son of Stars and the other immortals. What? That bastard Xiaofan, he's ranked higher than me. He's ranked first in the 4th region. 2 million points. How did he get 2 million points? Master Xing Qinzi was in a state of shock, rage, and madness. Well. The immortals around him were at a loss. These Son of the Stars fans had thought that the Son of the Stars would definitely take first place in the 4th region's ranking with his 750,000 points. Only today did they realize that the Son of the Stars' points were actually several times lower than Xiaofan's. Compared to 2 million points, a few 100,000 points was on a completely different level. Impossible. How could I possibly lose to a puny mortal like you? The son of Xing Qinzi had always thought highly of himself. In the 4th region, he looked down on everyone. He regarded all his competitors with disdain. He regarded them as nothing. He had thought that he was the undisputed leader, but now, the truth had made him so embarrassed. He'd lost to a mortal. Moreover, the difference in points between the two was more than 1 million. Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's voice hovered in the air above the 4th region. It was tantamount to a vicious slap to Son of Stars' face. The slap had driven him mad with rage. In addition, the woman he loved had died at Xiaofan's hands. All of this made Son of Stars want nothing more than to skin Xiaofan alive, pull out his tendons, and drink his blood. Xiaofan is ranked first. Roar. No. There are 19 days left before the qualifier is over. As long as I kill Xiaofan, then I'll be able to catch up and take first place. Son of Stars' eyes were bloodshot. It made sense. Killing Xiaofan was the only way for Son of Stars to take first place. There was no other way. Starting from today, I'll do my best in the 4th region. Search for Xiaofan. Son of Stars glared. You'll split into teams and be led by those who've refined and controlled the immortal artifacts. Search for Xiaofan. Once you find him, inform me through the communication spirit stone. Yes. Big Brother Son of Stars. There were currently 89 immortals under Son of Stars' command. Among them, 9 immortals followed Xing Qinzi, while the remaining 80 immortals were split into 8 teams and left in full force. Xiaofan's life was already on the line. Xiaofan, Black-White, and Fish Arm were flying at high speed. I suddenly miss sect leader and senior brothers. While flying, Xiaofan suddenly had some thoughts. Moreover, he was also a little worried. I wonder if the sect master and senior brothers have broken out of the encirclement. I hope they're not in trouble. Indeed, Xiaofan was also worried that his friends and relatives would be defeated in the preliminary competition and fall in the second level of the Ju Dao Immortal Emperor's treasure vault. However, Xiaofan's soul could sense signs of life from Yan Lang and his 5 otherworldly servants. They were still alive. I'm sure Yan Lang and the others have obtained a place in the arena. Xiaofan made a rough judgment in his heart. There's no need to think so much. Let's kill our way out. The sooner we kill the Son of Stars, the sooner we can leave the 4th region. Xiaofan couldn't wait to find the Son of Stars and kill him. Big Brother Black-White, Big Brother Fish Arm, from now on, we'll take the initiative to find the Son of Stars. Xiaofan said directly. Now, he was strong enough to challenge the Son of the Stars to a duel. All right. Take the initiative to find the Son of Stars. Kill him and avenge Su Huizi. At the mention of the Son of Stars, Black-White and Fish Arm's eyes were filled with hatred. All right, Xiaofan said. Also, I've obtained a lot of points. You too can take more points in the upcoming hunt. The power of refinement stored in Xiaofan's dantian was as deep as the sea, as resplendent as the stars, and as bottomless as a black hole. He was prepared to use the tremendous power of refinement to attack the restriction outside the Immortal Emperor Ju Dao's inheritance token tonight. He wanted to see how far he could go. Of course, Xiaofan knew that even though he had accumulated a great deal of power of refinement, he couldn't break through the restriction outside the token. In fact, even if Xiaofan killed all the remaining immortals in the 4th zone and obtained all the points, he still wouldn't be able to open the Jade Medallion of Inheritance. Therefore, Xiaofan did them a favor at little cost and let Black-White and Fish Arm take more points. Xiaofan had always treated his friends with sincerity and utmost righteousness. We can take the other immortals' points, but the Son of Stars' points belong to you, Brother Xiao, the Black-White Master said concisely. Xiaofan smiled and didn't say anything else. Not long after. Oh. A squad of immortals is slowly flying in our direction 50 kilometers ahead. Xiaofan finally found his prey. This team of immortals only has 10 people. One of the leaders had refined a Dharma treasure on him. The squad of immortals Xiaofan had discovered. This was a team of 10 immortals, and it was none other than one of Master Xing Qinzi's subordinates. The 10 immortals were cursing incessantly. How unlucky. We thought we'd be invincible in the 4th region when we followed Big Brother Stars. Who would have thought that a monster like Xiaofan would appear and surpass Big Brother Stars in points? That's right. Big Brother Stars and Xiaofan aren't going to rest until one of them is dead. Every day we don't find Xiaofan, Big Brother Stars will go even crazier. If we delay any longer, Big Brother Stars might vent his anger on us. Damn it! We have to find Xiaofan. If we capture Xiaofan alive, we'll teach Xiaofan a lesson when Big Brother Master Xing Qinzi tortures and humiliates him. Big Brother Master Xing Qinzi cursed us a few times. Xiaofan's psyche waves caught the immortal squad's words. The Son of Stars men. Xiaofan's heart sank. Killing intent surged uncontrollably. To be continued. Chapter 649. In the midst of hunting, Xiaofan's psyche and soul rippled, and he finally discovered the whereabouts of a team of immortals. It was a team of immortals under the Son of the Stars' command. There were a total of 10 people, and they were coming straight at him. Upon hearing that it was the Son of the Stars' subordinates, the Black-White Master and the Fish-Rib Master's expressions flickered, and expressions of fury appeared on their faces. After all, when Black-White, Fish Arm, and Su Huizi had formed a team, they had encountered a Son of the Stars team and been chased like stray dogs. In the end, Su Huizi had sacrificed himself to protect Black-White and Su Huizi. Now that they had encountered a Son of the Stars team, it was no different from meeting their mortal enemies. His eyes were extremely red. Furthermore, the Black and White Child and Fish Lily had each obtained quite a few points. They also controlled and refined Dharma treasures. They also had some foundation for revenge. Even if they weren't a match for Xingqianzi, the two of them still dared to fight against Xingqianzi's subordinates. Seeing the excitement on the faces of his two companions, Xiaofan also smiled. "Brothers, calm down. Now, we're prepared to officially declare war on the Son of Stars. Hence, we definitely won't let this 10-man team go. This 10-man team's overall strength isn't even comparable to the team led by that bitch, Jiang Zi, that we destroyed previously. It'll be as easy as blowing off dust for us to destroy them. Ha ha ha, let's go, brothers, let's swagger over." After pausing for a moment, Xiaofan smiled again. "When we kill this squad, we can let them send as many messages as they want back to the son of Xingqianzi, allowing the son of Xingqianzi to hear the tragic deaths of his subordinates. This can be considered a little gift from us to the son of Xingqianzi." Ha ha ha, ha ha ha. "That's right, brother Xiaofan. We have to make the Son of the Stars feel incomparably anxious and insecure. Let's go, let's charge over." Black and White Sun and Fish Stem were also eager to try. The three of them flashed towards the Son of the Stars team, which was completely unaware of them. At this moment, while flying at a low speed, the team of 10 under Master Xingqianzi's command spread out their immortal senses to search the area. Xiaofan is immortal. Mortals have different auras and life fluctuations than us immortals. Therefore, once he enters the range of our celestial sense, he absolutely won't be able to hide from us. However, the range of our celestial sense is also narrow. It's only a few kilometers. If it could cover tens of kilometers, hundreds of kilometers, I'm afraid that little bastard Xiaofan would have been captured long ago. But there's something fishy about this. Xiaofan is just an ordinary person. How could he have accumulated 2 million points? His points were a lot higher than Son of Stars. It should be known that points were extremely valuable. They were definitely obtained through real battles, and there was nothing fake about them. Since he had obtained such a large number of points, he definitely had methods to slaughter immortals. He was a dangerous man. If we take the initiative to look for Xiaofan like this, what if his combat power is really as heaven-defying as his points? Then wouldn't we be walking right into a trap? Ha 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 ha, don't worry too much. No matter how powerful a mortal was, how powerful could he be? In terms of points, Xiaofan's points are so much higher than Son of Stars. In other words, Xiaofan's combat power is several times higher than Son of Stars. Do you believe that? Is that even possible? A genius who was renowned even in the immortal world, after descending to the lower realm, can't defeat a mortal? There's no such thing in this world. At this moment, a lazy voice rang out. Don't make wild guesses about my combat power. Just verify it for yourself. In the next moment, Xiaofan, the Black-White Sun and Fish Stem appeared in the eyes of the squad of immortals. Oh! The sudden appearance of Xiaofan and his companion stunned the squad of immortals. Then, they bared their teeth and roared, "The aura of a mortal." That's right. It's the aura of a mortal. Xiaofan. It's that little bastard Xiaofan. We've finally found him. After searching for so many days, we didn't have any hope of finding Xiaofan. But now, he's come knocking on our door. The leader of the squad took a step forward. His aura surged, and he had more than 100,000 points above his head. Immortal light glowed, a clear sign that he had refined immortal treasures. He held a communication spirit stone in his hand as he stared at Xiaofan, Fish Stem, and the Black-White Sun. Although Yu Yangzi and He Heizi had also refined their own Dharma treasures, their immortal qi wasn't as pure as before. This was because Xiaofan had disguised them. He'd split off 2 strands of spirit turtle true qi and attached them to the black-white sun and fish stem's bodies, concealing a portion of the ripples of immortal treasures. As a result, although the black-white sun and fish stem had more points than the leader of the squad, the glow of their immortal treasures was dim and unremarkable. It was easy for others to believe that they were ordinary. The leader of the immortals had noticed the calmness of He Bai Zi and Yu Li Zi, as well as Xiaohan's calmness. Because of that, he grew even more confident. He Bai Zi, Yu Li Zi, you 2 pieces of trash actually dared to mix with Xiaofan. Heh, if it weren't for the fact that you 2 were fast enough to escape last time, if it weren't for that idiot Su Huizi blocking death for you 2, the 2 of you would have been turned to ash long ago. How dare you appear before us now? You! The black-white sun and fish stem were enraged. Xiaohan waved his hand, indicating that they should not be rash. You're one of Xingqunzi's lackeys, aren't you? Xiaohan smiled at the leader. How dare you? The leader bristled with anger. Xiaohan, I see that you're just a mortal. There's nothing special about you. You must have gotten those 2 million points out of pure luck. The 10 immortals were dazzled when they saw Xiaohan's points. Xiaohan. Do you have the feeling that the net of heaven has a long arm but no one can escape? Be executed. How dare you murder our big brother Xingqunzi's beloved woman, Jiang Zi? That's a heinous crime. You're going to die in the 4th region, and your family, your plane, and anyone related to you will all be crushed by Big Bro Stellar Chen. Some of the immortals were getting very excited by the points floating above Xiaohan's head. They roared incessantly. Xiaohan wasn't in a hurry to attack. Instead, he observed the 10 immortals with great interest. Moreover, he deliberately said, "Why didn't you inform the son of Xingqunzi that you've discovered me?" The leader of the immortals was taken aback by Xiaohan's fearlessness. Meanwhile, he activated the communication spirit stone in his hand and communicated directly with the son of Xingqunzi. Big brother Xingqunzi. We found Xiaohan. On the other side. Roar. Xiaohan. You found Xiaohan? That's great. Tell me where you are right now. The son of Xingqunzi's voice was extremely frenzied. About 600 kilometers east of our starting point, the immortal leader immediately reported. I'll be right there. Hold Xiaohan back for now. The son of Xingqunzi barked impatiently from the other end of the communication stone. Meanwhile, after the leader transmitted his voice to the son of Xingqunzi, Xiaohan glanced at the black and white child and fish stem out of the corner of his eye. Kill! Xiaohan suddenly roared. As soon as the word kill was uttered, the mental energy star in Xiaohan's sea of consciousness directly exploded. Whoosh 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 whoosh, dozens of soul-type psychic daggers materialized at Xiaohan's command. Furthermore, puff. 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 Pft. In less than a breath's time. Under Xiaohan's control, the daggers pierced through the limbs of the 10 immortals. 10 immortals were instantly crippled by Xiaohan. Become a cripple. Ah! Roar! Ah! These immortals let out miserable shrieks that sounded like pigs being slaughtered. It was as miserable as the cries of cuckoos and apes. The screams reverberated throughout the area. It was as if even the heavens and earth had dimmed. On the other end of the communication stone was the son of Star. When he suddenly heard the screams of his subordinates, he seemed to be shocked and shouted at them repeatedly. What's going on? What's going on? Ah! Big brother Xingqunzi. That's Xiaohan. The immortals howled in pain. That Xiaohan is strange. Big brother black and white, big brother fish stem, do it now. Xiaohan said. In the blink of an eye, the black and white seeds and the fish stem. They summoned their immortal treasures and unleashed all kinds of immortal spells and divine abilities to attack. Faced with a group of immortals who had been crippled by Xiaofan, they couldn't resist at all. Even the defenseless immortals, the black and white seeds and the fish stem instantly succeeded. After killing 10 immortals at once, the immortals' points, treasures, and power of refinement flowed into the black and white seeds and the fish stem. This also fulfilled Xiaofan's promise to split the spoils with the black and white seeds and the fish stem. "Brothers, let's go." Xiaofan didn't hesitate. He took out his storage ring and collected the fragments of the corpses that filled the sky. Then, he fled into the distance with the black and white seeds and the fish stem. A few dozen breaths later, Hong, son of Star, almost tore through space as he led his subordinates to the area where the 10 immortals had died. Trembling, one of Master Xing's subordinates said, "Big brother Xing Qinzi, it seems like a fierce battle broke out here, and immortals perished. Don't tell me that Xiaofan killed our people in this place." "Shut up!" Son of Star roared in anger and humiliation. Indeed, he was now certain that this was the place where his subordinates had transmitted messages to him, and then, been slaughtered. 10 immortals were slaughtered by Xiaofan in the span of a single breath. According to the fluctuations of the communication spirit stone, our people couldn't even fight back when Xiaofan made his move. Qin Yun's eyes widened in shock. All of a sudden, the child of Xing Qinzi felt a trace of desolation. For some inexplicable reason, a sense of fear quietly grew in Xing Qinzi's heart. To be continued. If you like this work, you are welcome to come to Qidian and vote for it. Your support is my greatest motivation. For mobile users, please read it at Qidian. 9. Chapter 650. At this moment, the Son of the Stars finally realized that Xiaofan was absolutely not easy to deal with. He'd underestimated Xiaofan. He'd severely underestimated Xiaofan. The immortals at Xing Qinzi's side also began to sense Xiaofan's fearsomeness. However, now that they thought about it carefully, there were some clues. Jiang Zi had been killed by Xiaofan. After all, she'd refined an extremely powerful treasure. She'd fought with other teams of immortals, and Xiaofan had killed her with a sneak attack. However, the fact that he'd been able to kill Jiang Zi meant that Xiaofan wasn't an ordinary mortal. Xiaofan hadn't obtained more than 2 million points purely through luck. Moreover, not long ago, Xiaofan had easily and neatly slaughtered 10 of the Star Child's powerful immortals. All of these signs were enough to show how terrifying Xiaofan was. The wind was faint, but when it blew on the Star Child and the other immortals, they felt a chill run down their spines. "Big brother Star, the Star Child's expression grew as grim as an iron plate. Then, he took out a communication spirit stone and sent a message to his subordinates scattered in the 4th region. "All of you, come back quickly. We need to discuss our plan to deal with Xiaofan again." The Star Child sent a message to his subordinates, asking them to return immediately. He knew he had to reformulate his plan to deal with Xiaofan. Otherwise, Xiaofan might bite back at him. In the end, the Son of the Stars completely regarded Xiaofan as his greatest threat, and as a formidable opponent who was strong enough to fight against him. He was no longer careless. The Son of the Stars chimed in coldly, "Xiaofan does have his quirks. I underestimated him too much before, and he cost me 20 of my subordinates. Now, I want to pay more attention to this Xiaofan. I have to treat him as my mortal enemy. I believe that there's an insurmountable chasm between mortals and immortals. As long as I take him seriously, I'll be the one to have the last laugh." "That's right, big brother Star." Not long after that, the immortals under the Star Child's command arrived from all over. Including the Star Child, a total of 80 immortals had gathered. Immortal chi seethed in the sky. The atmosphere was also extremely stiff and heavy. All of the immortals were feeling uneasy, and their hearts were filled with shock. "It's unbelievable. Our team was slaughtered by Xiaofan in an instant. They didn't even have a chance to fight back. It looks like we've underestimated Xiaofan all this time. We thought he was just a lucky mortal who could be bullied as he pleased. Who would have thought that he could slaughter immortals as easily as picking up grass? I'm at a disadvantage. We suffered a great loss. However, now that Big Brother Son of the Stars is paying attention to this matter, given our strength, we might be able to make up for it. The immortals were all discussing spiritually with one another. At that moment, the Son of the Stars let out a furious roar. Alright, stop whispering. Master Xingqianzi was very imposing, and his shout caused his subordinates to fall silent like cicadas in winter. One by one, they looked over at Master Xingqianzi. Eldest brother Xingqianzi, now that we're taking Xiaofan seriously, please give us your instructions on how to deal with him. To protect the dignity of us immortals, to avenge our comrades, and to ensure that Big Brother Son of the Stars takes first place in the preliminaries, we have to kill Xiaofan at all costs. Listen up. We still have 80 people left. From now on, we'll split into 8 teams. However, a thoughtful look appeared in the Son of the Stars' eyes. Unlike before, we'll split into teams and stop searching for Xiaofan. Upon hearing these words, all of the immortals under the Son of the Stars' command froze. Confused expressions appeared on their faces. Stop searching for Xiaofan. There's a change of plan. Each team will search for other immortal teams in Region 4, then contact them. The Son of the Stars seemed to have a well-thought-out plan. We'll gather all of the immortals scattered in Realm 4 together. Then, we'll send hundreds of immortals to hunt down Xiaofan. It'll be a great show of force. Is that so? The immortals were taken aback. One of the immortals couldn't help but ask. That's a good plan, Big Brother of the Sons of the Stars, Nya Tian said. However, I'm worried that the other teams won't want to work with us. Don't worry about it. The Son of the Stars said confidently. Xiaofan has more than 2 million points, the Son of the Stars said confidently. Every team in Realm 4, with the exception of us, will want to hunt him down and take first place. For now, we won't waste our time fighting the other teams. Let's work together and take down Xiaofan, the leader of the pack. This is a chance to fight for first place, and the other teams won't ignore it. Everyone is jealous of Xiaofan, coveting him. What's wrong with killing him first? As expected, the Son of the Stars had come up with this plan after careful consideration. Now that he had explained the whole story, the immortals were all convinced. Also, the Son of the Stars said, when you contact the other teams, you can exaggerate Xiaofan's battle prowess so that they won't dare to act alone. That way, they'll understand the importance of working together. Xiaofan really is strong. Go tell the other immortal squads that not even I, the Son of the Stars, am confident in being able to kill Xiaofan on my own. United, we're strong. Divided, we're weak. Let's work together to hunt down that mortal Xiaofan. It's time for the Hunt the Leading Sheep plan. This plan is called the Hunt Down Leader plan. The Son of the Stars said in a powerful voice. Plan to hunt the alpha sheep? The immortals exchanged glances with one another. Then. We understand, Big Brother Star. The Son of the Stars subordinate said eagerly. In that case, let's split up and contact the other immortals scattered in the 4th region. Go on. The Son of the Stars waved his hand. Be careful. If you run into Xiaofan, don't fight him head-on. Avoid him for now. Once we gather our men, we'll hunt him down. That way, we'll be absolutely safe. Understood. Xiao, the immortals split into 8 squads and flew off in different directions. While the Sons of the Stars were discussing the Hunt Down Leader plan, Xiaofan was stealthily lurking on a hill about 60 kilometers away from the Sons of the Stars and the others. At this distance, the Sons of the Stars and the others wouldn't be able to detect him at all. However, Xiaofan knew their every move like the back of his hand. This included the so-called Hunt Down Leader plan. This son of the stars really is a wily old fox. Xiaofan snickered. Brother Xiaofan, as expected of the son of the stars. Black and White Master and Fish Stem looked at Xiaofan. Should we charge out and hunt the son of the stars? Black and White Master asked after a brief pause. Brother Xiaofan, since we found the son of the stars' whereabouts, we can sneak behind him and wait for an opportunity to kill him in one fell swoop. Yes, Xiaofan said with a sneer. The child of Star Chenzi just discussed with all of the immortals in the 4th region to gang up on me, Xiaofan. Ha ha ha. A group of immortals working together to kill a mere mortal? That's something that rarely happens in the eons. It looks like the son of the stars is very confident in his plan. He thinks he can easily capture me. Ha ha ha, if that's the case, I won't be in a hurry to kill the son of the stars. I'll toy with him for a bit, how about this? Xiaohan's eyes darted around as he came up with a countermeasure. We'll choose a squad under the son of the stars command and follow them. We'll wait for them to contact the other squads, then we'll kill them in one fell swoop. That way, the son of the stars will be informed of the situation immediately through the communication spirit stone. We'll kill our way through. We'll kill until the son of the stars is the only one left in the 4th region. We'll kill him until he breaks down. Alright. That way, we'll be able to crush the son of the stars mentally. The Black and White Master said, nodding. That's right. Master Xing Chenzi is too arrogant. Big bro Su Huizi died a horrible death. If we kill him right away, it'll be letting him off easy. Even if he's a genius among immortals, he won't be able to endure such torture. He'll definitely collapse. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Alright then, brothers, let's choose a squad under the son of the stars command and follow them. Xiaofan spread his psychic fluctuations and locked onto a squad of 10 subordinates of the son of the stars. Then, he, the Black and White Master, and Fish Arm chased after them. Very quickly, Xiaofan and the other 2 caught up to the small team that was flying in the northwest direction. They didn't have to worry about losing track of the squad if they followed it for about 40 kilometers. Of course, the squad didn't know that Xiaofan had his eyes on them yet. They were currently transmitting sound waves and messages with their immortal senses as they flew. Big Brother Son of the Stars subordinates are contacting other immortals to plan something big. The leader of the 4th region, the mortal Xiaofan, is growing stronger by the day. He's a great threat to us immortals. He's killed countless immortals to accumulate 2 million points. His fighting prowess has already surpassed Big Brother Son of the Stars. If we don't team up, he'll take us down one by one. Now, any immortal team that hears this message can immediately join our team. Let's work together and topple the leader first. The squad of 10 immortals continued to transmit messages as they flew, hoping that the other immortals scattered in the 4th region would hear them. A bunch of idiots. Xiaofan said, following closely behind them like a maggot in a tarsal bone. Moreover, Xiaofan wouldn't make a move just yet. He would wait until this squad of immortals contacted other immortal teams, and then annihilate them in one fell swoop. That would shock the son of the stars even more. It would be a huge blow to his psyche. He was on the verge of collapse. Chapter 651. Now, Xiaofan and the son of the stars were engaged in a battle of wits and courage. YBDU. The son of the stars had completely taken Xiaofan seriously. He had divided his subordinates into several squads and taken the initiative to search for other teams of immortals in the 4th realm. He planned to unite all of them and form a crusade to hunt down Xiaofan, the leader of the pack. Although the plan wasn't too shocking, it was very reasonable. Yes, if hundreds or thousands of immortals joined forces, Xiaofan could very well be surrounded and killed, no matter how fierce his immortal slaying methods were. However, Xiaofan used his formidable soul and psychic power to cover a far greater area than these immortals, and immediately learned of the Son of the Stars plan. At the same time, Xiaofan launched a counterattack. Xiaofan fixed his eyes on one of the Son of the Stars squads, followed them, and then found the best opportunity to kill them. After all, if Xiaofan hadn't learned of the Son of the Stars plan in advance, he might also have fallen into a predicament. For example, the Son of the Stars squads had gathered all of the other Immortal squads, and then gathered all of them together using communication spirit stones. That way, once Xiaofan's whereabouts were exposed, he might be surrounded. Even if he fought a group of Immortals, it was very likely that he would be outnumbered. At this moment, the Son of the Stars squad that Xiaofan was targeting, consisting of 10 Immortals, were doing their best to send out messages and sense the other Immortal squads in the vicinity. Xiaofan, the fish arm, and the black and white child kept a safe distance from the squad, and closely monitored their every move. In the squad that Xiaofan and the others were tracking, the leader of the squad kept his communication spirit stone on at all times. With the Son of the Stars. With his companions. They kept in touch at all times. At this moment, the leaders of the other squads kept sending messages. I didn't let you down, Big Brother Star. I've found a squad of 45 Immortals. I've convinced their leader to cooperate with us against Xiaofan. I've also met with a squad of 28 Immortals. We've reached an agreement to work together. I've made a point to form an alliance with a large squad of 56 Immortals. Now, I'm going to continue searching for other squads. One after another, the Son of the Stars subordinates came back with reports of success. Then, Master Xing Qinzi's voice echoed through the spirit communication stone. All right. Very good. Everyone's hard work. He also received some feedback and continued to contact other Immortal teams. I believe you. We, the Immortals, will definitely be able to kill that bastard Xiaofan. Yes, Big Brother Xing Qinzi's plan is progressing very smoothly. The frown on the leader of the squad of Immortals that Xiaofan had been keeping an eye on eased. He seemed to have heaved a sigh of relief. The other teams have already contacted the people scattered in the 4th region. We have to work harder. However, just as he finished speaking, there's a team of Immortals about 2 miles ahead. The leader of the team suddenly stopped and gathered his Immortal sense. That's right. It's a 27-man team. After a short pause, the squad leader waved his hand and said, Let's go. Meet up with this 27-man team. On Xiaofan's side. Naturally, the appearance of the 27-man team could not escape Xiaofan's psychic detection. However, Xiaofan was not in a hurry. He smiled faintly and said, This squad of Immortals has finally found another team of Immortals. Let them meet up and team up. That way, I'll have fun killing them. Hee, Brother Xiaofan, Master Xing Qinzi must be very nervous right now. Once he finds out that you've killed a few dozen more Immortals, he'll definitely lose his cool. At this moment, the black-white child and Yu Yangzi knew Xiaofan was strong enough to destroy a team of Celestials on his own. Therefore, they were not worried about Xiaofan's plan. Xiao, it did not take long before the squad of Immortals that Xiaofan was keeping an eye on met up with the 27-man team. The leader of the 27-man team was a handsome sword cultivator with a sword on his back. He had 240,000 points hovering above his head, and there were signs that he had refined a celestial weapon. The two Immortal squads clashed head-on, and the two sides immediately began to pull away from each other. Oh! A squad of 10? The sword cultivator said excitedly. Ha ha ha. What a free gift. A hint of killing intent could be seen in his eyes as he spoke. Meanwhile, the leader of Master Xing Qinzi's 10-man squad raised the communication spirit stone in his hand high into the air. Friend, don't be in such a hurry to attack. We're Big Brother Xing Qinzi's subordinates. We're holding the communication spirit stone in our hands and are in constant contact with Big Brother Xing Qinzi. If you act rashly and kill us, Big Brother Xing Qinzi will immediately kill you. He'll make sure you die a graveless death. Big Brother Xing Chunzi is currently ranked second in the 4th region in terms of points, and he has refined an extremely powerful weapon. Moreover, Big Brother Xing Chunzi isn't someone to be trifled with. Therefore, you must consider this carefully. Don't act rashly. If you attack, you won't be able to bear the consequences. The 27-man team led by the Sword Cultivator was instantly intimidated by the Sword Cultivator's words. A hint of fear flashed in the Sword Cultivator's eyes as he muttered to himself. The son of Xing Chunzi's subordinates, the leader of the 10-man squad led by the Son of the Stars, went on with his speech. Everyone, Nya Tian said. That's enough, friends. I've come to negotiate with you on my own initiative. I won't use Big Brother Xing Chunzi's name to bully you. Instead, I want to work with you. A look of realization flashed across the Sword Cultivator's face as he nodded slightly. Work with you? Earlier, I heard that Master Xing Chunzi invited us Immortal squads to join forces against Xiaofan. Looks like the news is absolutely true. The leader of the 10-man team nodded solemnly. Of course it's true. This is the leading sheep hunting plan. That mortal Xiaofan has already accumulated more than 2 million points. He's a threat to us Immortals. Moreover, as a mortal, he openly opposed us Immortals. We have no choice but to kill him. That mortal Xiaofan must have mastered some methods to kill Immortals. Therefore, if we don't work together, it's very likely that we'll be defeated one by one. Let's work together for now and kill Xiaofan first. Also, Big Brother Xing Chunzi said that after we surround Xiaofan, whoever kills him will get his points, treasures, and power of refinement. Whoever kills him will get the rewards. The Sword Cultivator's voice trembled, and his eyes turned bloodshot. More than 2 million points. That's right. Those points should have been ours, but now a mortal has taken them. We have to defend the dignity of Immortals and take those points back. Think about it, if Xiaofan really gets the points and spots and kills his way out of the 4th region, we Immortals will lose all face. Alright, let's work together. Let's work together to kill Xiaofan. The Sword Cultivator finally nodded in agreement. Ha 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 ha, good. Friends, you've made the right decision, the leader of the 10-man team said with a wide smile. After all, Big Brother Xing Chunzi has the perfect communication method. Only by working together with him will we have a chance to capture that slippery Xiaofan. If you go after Xiaofan alone, not only will it be difficult to find him, but he might even kill you instead. Let's go after Xiaofan together, the Sword Cultivator said eagerly, licking his lips. At the same time, he began to mutter to himself. If I'm lucky, I'll be able to kill Xiaofan while the other Immortals are surrounding him. Let's go, the leader of the team urged. We need to hurry and contact other teams of Immortals. We'll grow stronger and stronger. Let's go, the leader of the team urged. We need to hurry and contact other teams of Immortals. We'll grow stronger and stronger. Therefore, the two teams, with a total of 37 people, temporarily formed a team and continued to search for other teams. Xiaofan informed Black-White Child and Fish Rib of his findings. Brother Xiaofan, when do we make our move? Black-White Child asked. Fish Rib rubbed his hands together. The team ahead of us has successfully formed an alliance with another team of Immortals. They'll definitely be overjoyed, and they'll definitely send word to the Son of Stars. If we attack now and wipe them out, it'll be like pouring a bucket of ice water on a raging flame. I'm sure the Son of Stars will vomit blood in anger. Ha ha ha. Xiaofan laughed. After a brief pause, Xiaofan looked up at the evening sky and said, Big brothers, it's not the time to make our move yet. We'll wait for them to gather more people before we make our move. Don't be in such a hurry to fight. The curtains have already been drawn on our final battle with the Son of Stars. Let's wait a few more days, and we'll have to face the Son of Stars head-on. Big Brother Xing Chunzi, I've also made contact with a team of Immortals. There are 27 of them, and their overall strength is pretty good. Right now, I'm making the best use of my time to make contact with other teams of Immortals. The leader of the Immortal team that Xiaofan had been following also took out a communication spirit stone and communicated with Xingqianzi. Meanwhile, the Son of Stars had personally contacted 3 teams of Immortals. Now, he had more than 100 Immortals by his side. Looking at the Immortals he had recruited, the Son of Stars waved the communication spirit stone in his hand and said, "Everyone, my plan is coming to fruition. The 7 teams of Immortals I sent out have all contacted other teams. Now, we've gathered hundreds of Immortals. Let's not talk about the future, but our chances of killing Xiaofan are much higher now that we're united." The Immortals by the Son of Stars side cheered in agreement. Some of the Immortals who had been recruited by the Son of Stars had grim expressions on their faces, and their eyes were unfocused. Perhaps they had chosen to ally with the Son of Stars because they wanted to use his power to find Xiaofan, kill him, and divide the spoils. However, no matter what, Xingqianzi's plan to hunt the leader was developing just as he had expected. This made him more and more confident that he could kill Xiaofan. To be continued. P.S. Recommending Qidian's popular guru, whose network is so strong that it defies the natural order, and who keeps himself clean. Every time he writes, he burns incense and takes a bath. He is clean, and his soul is pure and transparent. Chrysanthemum Pig Xuanhuan Monster Masterpiece, #1 in the world. This book was very strong. It gave off the feeling of being young and hot-blooded. Anyone who read it would feel as if they were young and inexperienced. Within the book, there was a very righteous and pure emotion. Chapter 652. Night. The moon and stars were beautiful. Xiaofan, Yuyangzi and Heiheizi settled down in a tranquil valley with fireflies flying around. Xiaofan did not lose track of the team of Immortals in front of him. Of course, he would not get too close and be discovered by them. Xiaofan and the other 2 maintained a distance of about 50 to 60 li from the team of Immortals. It was a perfect distance. "Brother Yuyangzi, brother Heiheizi, let's stay in this valley tonight. Those guys in front of us should stop and not move forward." Xiaofan smiled. "Okay." Yuyangzi and Heiheizi nodded at the same time. The 3 of them sat cross-legged and nurtured their spirits. Xiaofan looked down. Under the clear moonlight, he was like a focused statue. At this moment, Xiaofan was looking at his dantian. In Xiaofan's dantian, there were countless immortal weapons and Dharma treasures. Almost 20,000 Dharma treasures. Now, it would not be an exaggeration to say that Xiaofan was a moving treasure trove. However, Xiaofan's current identity was still that of a mortal. Therefore, among all these Dharma treasures, Xiaofan wouldn't waste his refining power to obtain them. After all, when mortals controlled these Dharma treasures, they wouldn't be able to bring out the true mysteries of these Dharma treasures. Of course, among the endless Dharma treasures, the greatest and most glorious was still Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's jade token of inheritance. Any Dharma treasure would appear insignificant and dim in comparison to this jade token of inheritance. Once this jade token of inheritance was opened, one could obtain Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's lifetime of Sword Dao cultivation. His strength would increase exponentially. He would become the king of the Sword Dao in this universe, the ruler of the world. My next goal is to open this jade plate of inheritance and obtain the legacy of Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao. Xiaofan thought to himself. He was very clear about the path he had to take. Only by obtaining the legacy of Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao and gaining enlightenment will I be able to walk to the end of the 4th floor of the treasure trove and compete with the other immortals. More importantly, I will be able to compete with the demon egg in my heart, the soul of the demon god. However, it's extremely difficult to completely obtain Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's legacy. The refining power required is unimaginable, forget it. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Now, let's officially start attacking this inheritance jade plate. He was officially trying to break through the inheritance jade plate. That's right, it was Xiaofan's first time wasting his energy to challenge the succession badge. Before this, Xiaofan had also obtained the power of refinement, but he did not use it to break through the inheritance jade token. Instead, he used it to break through the divine speed boots and the supreme battle will pill. Now, Xiaofan had accumulated more than 2 million points, and the amount of refining energy he had obtained was unbelievably huge. The power of refinement was as deep as the sea, accumulating in Xiaofan's dantian like a black hole filled with crazy energy. What was certain was that Xiaofan's refining power far surpassed that of any immortal in the fourth region. It wouldn't be a problem for him to crush Xingchenzi by a few streets. With this level of refining power, he could casually refine a large number of magic treasures in his dantian. However, Xiaofan would not waste the refining power on these immortal artifacts and dharma treasures. The inheritance jade plate was the king. Everything else was fleeting. One day, when Xiaofan obtained immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's inheritance, he would be enlightened. By then, any immortal artifacts and dharma treasures he wanted would be within his reach. Right now, the refining power in my body is definitely not enough to break through the inheritance jade plate. It's still a long way off. However, I'll take it one step at a time. Xiaofan's mind moved. His mind directly controlled the raging refining power in his dantian. Boom! All the refining power was mobilized by Xiaofan, not a single drop was spilled. This power of refinement gathered into a giant energy dragon. This energy dragon roared and charged directly at the jade token of inheritance. It charged at the layers of mental restrictions on the surface of the inheritance jade plate. Pucci, a loud explosion burst out from Xiaofan's dantian. A massive, powerful refinement force bombarded the jade inheritance token. It was like the crashing of waves. A tsunami rolled wildly. At that moment, a gap was opened in the restriction on the surface of the inheritance jade token. Xiaofan's mind directly entered the gap. His soul and mental strength enveloped it. Hiss! Xiaofan couldn't help but cry out in shock. He never expected that his refining power could only break through less than 1/50th of the mental restrictions on the surface of the inheritance jade plate. It was too terrifying. It was too terrifying. Before this, Xiaofan also knew that he was only testing the waters this time. He definitely wouldn't be able to break through the restrictions on the surface of the inheritance jade plate. However, he never expected that not only could he not break through, but he couldn't even break through 1/50th of the mental restrictions. It can't be. I've accumulated so much refining power and accumulated more than 2 million points. I can't even break through 1/50th of the mental restrictions with my full strength? How difficult would it be to completely control this inheritance jade plate and obtain the opportunity to be enlightened? Xiaofan's scalp went numb. Such a huge number of points, but the refining power was just a drop in the ocean. The next moment, Xiaofan's mind swept through again. The refining power in his dantian was completely empty. There was nothing left. It was dried up. It was used up. Xiaofan let out a breath of turbid air. It seems that it's absolutely impossible to break through the inheritance jade plate in the fourth region's preliminaries. Even if I kill all the immortals, it's impossible to break through the inheritance jade plate. I can only wait for the following matches to see if there are more opportunities. There are only slightly more than 1,000 immortals left in the fourth region. Killing all these immortals and obtaining this little bit of refining power is really a drop in the bucket to break through the inheritance jade plate. Forget it, I won't think about the preliminaries. I'll wait for the matches to see what the rules are and see if I can obtain more refining power. Xiaofan also had some ideas. However, at this moment, boom! On the surface of the inheritance jade plate, a warm current suddenly flowed out from the small gap that had been broken through. This warm current flowed directly through Xiaofan's mind and into his soul at lightning speed. Boom! Another explosion. Xiaofan's soul consciousness actually expanded. Hiss! Xiaofan took a deep breath. He felt a slight swelling pain in his head. Then, the solid mental power planet in his sea of consciousness quickly moved a few times. His powerful soul instantly eliminated the discomfort caused by the swelling of his sea of consciousness. Then, it was replaced by a wave of comfort and coolness. In his sea of consciousness, there was a refreshing feeling. Then, Xiaohan's soul penetrated and discovered that the warm current that flowed into his sea of consciousness was actually some principles related to the Saber Tao. This principle was not profound. It seemed to be just the tip of the iceberg that had leaked out from Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's inheritance jade plate. A little bit of it that had leaked out. However, it was this little bit of it that made Xiaofan directly immersed in it. Hungry and thirsty. Dreamy and illusory. For a moment, he was stunned. Originally, Xiaofan was a saber cultivator. His Saber Tao originated from the immortal Saber Tao that had sealed the Heart Demon Egg. The 7-fragment saber technique was also an immortal saber technique that was not common. Moreover, Xiaohan's saber intent had been thoroughly tempered and had already reached the peak realm of great accomplishment. His natal saber chi was flawless and his divine soul could even vaguely see the gate of the ancient saber realm. In this way, Xiaofan was able to quickly absorb the mysteries of Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's Saber Tao. Of course, if it was not because of his strong soul and strong Saber Tao, this little bit of knowledge would have instantly exploded Xiaohan's sea of consciousness. At this moment, Xiaofan was immersed in understanding the supreme mystery of the Saber Tao. Inadvertently, the natal saber chi that was entrenched in his sea of consciousness became more and more dazzling. Countless saber moves, saber words, and saber comprehension were steaming out from it. Xiaohan's Saber Tao realm actually began to skyrocket. So the saber chi can actually be slashed out like this. Xiaohan was immersed in the deep understanding of the Saber Tao. This was the understanding of the number one person in the Saber Tao. This caused Xiaohan to start learning. It was as if Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao was personally guiding Xiaohan. Subconsciously, Xiaohan's natal saber chi surged out from his sea of consciousness. The golden natal saber chi contained a terrifying aura that could slay gods, demons, and ghosts. It swept out. Such a saber intent caused Black White and Yu Yangzi to stand up and look at Xiaohan in shock. Saber intent. It's actually saber intent. After being with Brother Xiao for so many days, I didn't know that Brother Xiao was such a powerful saber cultivator. Yu Yangzi blurted out. Brother Xiao is too scary. Black White said thoughtfully. Trump cards one after another. Every trump card is so powerful. Mental strength, immortal physique, and now the saber intent. The power of this saber intent is enough to slay immortals. Yu Yangzi, you definitely don't have the confidence to withstand Brother Zhao's saber, right? I don't, Yu Yangzi said honestly. Brother Zhao's powerful saber intent is built on the terrifying mental strength of the soul. Using a powerful soul to control the saber intent is the realm that every saber cultivator dreams of achieving. Xing Chunzi is really funny. He actually provoked such an abnormal opponent. Black and White, look at Brother Zhao's saber intent. Hiss. At this moment, Yu Yangzi's voice stopped abruptly. At the same time, Black and White's eyes were also dazed. Xiaohan's natal saber chi suddenly distorted and evolved into a dragon-shaped saber chi. This dragon-shaped saber chi was covered in dense scales. It emitted an ancient and desolate aura that dominated the world and devoured everything. Moreover, the dragon-shaped saber chi was very agile as if it was a living creature. The dragon opened its mouth as if it was about to let out a destructive roar that completely absorbed the surrounding space. Every scale of this dragon-shaped saber chi seemed to be engraved with the essence of Saber Tao. Saber Chi Dragon. Finally, Black and White was extremely shocked. This is saber chi that can only be cultivated after the realm of Saber Tao has reached a certain level. When I was in the immortal world, I once heard some saber user friends say that the strongest saber user could not only comprehend saber intent and natal saber chi, but they could also use the natal saber chi to evolve into various primordial species, such as dragons, tigers, cranes, apes. That's right. Legend has it that immortal Emperor Zhu Dao, who dominated the immortal world, could evolve his natal saber chi into a primordial dragon. Back then, immortal Emperor Zhu Dao was in high spirits. His saber chi dragon stood proudly on the dragon's head with his hands behind his back. Everywhere he passed, everyone bowed their heads in submission. Now, Brother Xiaofan's saber chi dragon, this. Yes. I once heard that among the top saber cultivators in the immortal world, only immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's natal saber chi could transform into a dragon. The other super saber cultivators' natal saber chi could transform into tigers, leopards, dragons, pythons, eagles. Saber chi dragon was immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's signature move. Now, Brother Zhao's natal saber chi has actually transformed into a primordial dragon. Does this mean that his achievements in Saber Dao will be on par with immortal Emperor Zhu Dao in the future? He will become the #1 Saber Dao cultivator in this world. Chapter 653. After Xiaofan absorbed a little bit of immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's inheritance jade plate, his natal saber chi evolved into a primordial dragon that seemed to possess life. It turns out that every natal saber chi of a saber master is composed of saber talismans and saber techniques. In addition to the understanding of the saber, the comprehension of the saber, and the saber intent, the saber chi can be used to attack. This is a normal saber intent and saber chi. However, if I change the order of these saber talismans, saber techniques, and saber intent, it might turn the saber chi into a primordial species. Dragon. Tiger. Luan. Ferocious bird. After I absorbed a little bit of immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's saber technique, it was equivalent to him teaching me and guiding me in my cultivation. Therefore, my natal saber chi evolved into a primordial dragon. Back then, immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's saber chi also took the form of a dragon. At this moment, Xiaofan's heart was filled with enlightenment. His understanding of the saber had reached a whole new level. At this moment, Xiaofan's saber Dao clearly contained the shadow of immortal Emperor Zhu Dao. It could be said that Xiaofan had already obtained immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's inheritance. Of course, it was not the complete inheritance. It was just a little bit, an extremely superficial inheritance, like a drop of seawater in a vast ocean. However, even so, it was still immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's inheritance. After the saber chi turned into a dragon, my saber intent combat strength increased by more than a few times. Xiaofan was extremely certain of this point. Whoosh, then, Xiaofan kept the dragon-shaped saber chi back into his sea of consciousness. An image appeared in his sea of consciousness. On the surface of the glittering, solid mental power planet, there was a terrifying and dignified primordial dragon coiled around it. Every breath of this primordial dragon contained an invincible saber intent. Once released, it would devour people, tear everything apart, and crush everything in its path. I've only broken through 1/50th of the outer restriction of this inheritance jade pendant, and I've already obtained such a powerful saber intent. If I break through all the restrictions and gain complete control of this jade pendant, how powerful will my saber intent be? Even Xiaofan himself was shocked. Xiaofan calmed himself down and stood up, thinking to himself, now, my blade chi dragon has become my strongest trump card. It's many times stronger than a simple mental energy weapon. This move is more than enough to kill a son of the stars countless times over. Plus, it'll also give me a solid foundation to contend against other outstanding immortals in the upcoming matches. Even if those immortals have refined and mastered immortal tools, I won't be afraid of them. By the time Xiaofan had completely awakened from the wondrous state of comprehending the sword Dao, the sky was already turning bright. A new day was about to arrive. Xiaofan opened his eyes and saw that black, white, and fish stem were looking at him with shocked expressions. Xiaofan couldn't help but smile. Big brothers, I was a little carried away when I comprehended the sword Dao last night. Please excuse me. No, no. Frail fish stuttered. Brother Xiaofan, your saber intent has become unbelievably powerful. Amazing. The black, white, and fish stem nodded repeatedly. At the same time, Xiaofan discovered that the range of his soul and psychic fluctuations had expanded from 60 kilometers to 80 kilometers. The improvement in the sword Dao has actually strengthened my soul and psychic power a little more. Xiaofan was both surprised and overjoyed. Within the range of Xiaohan's soul and psychic fluctuations, the team of immortals was already ready to set off. They were ready to set off again, contact other teams, and continue the leading sheep hunting plan. Whoosh! 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 37 immortals soared into the sky. The leader of the team of 10 under the Son of the Stars said to boost morale. Everyone, let's keep up the good work today. Let's increase the number of immortals in our team to 100. Once we reach 100, we won't have to fear Xiaofan anymore. The sword immortal nodded. Yes, no matter how monstrous a mortal is, no matter how many trump cards he has, he can't fight against 100 immortals. He can't even mount a sneak attack. Yes. The group of immortals was high-spirited and arrogant. Xiaofan stared at the team of immortals and gave the black, white, and fish stem a meaningful look. Big brothers, let's follow them. Don't let those scumbags slip away. Just like the day before, Xiaofan and the other two followed behind while maintaining an effective distance. Soon, Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's voice reverberated through the fourth zone. Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao announced that there were only 18 days left until the end of the fourth region's preliminaries. Currently, there were 1,400 immortals in the fourth zone. There were no changes in the top 10 of the preliminaries. Xiaofan was still at the top with 2,020,000 points, while the Son of the Stars was in second place. It was worth mentioning that the number of immortals in the fourth zone was also a little over 1,400 the day before. Today, it was still 1,400. This meant that there had been no fighting between the immortals in the fourth zone yesterday. Son of the Stars does have some charisma, Xiaofan sneered inwardly. Under his leadership, the immortals have stopped fighting among themselves. All the spearheads are pointed at me, Xiaofan. Interesting, noon. The team of immortals that Xiaofan had been following finally had a new harvest. They encountered a large team of 66 people and persuaded them to form an alliance with them. The total number of immortals in the team was now over 100. They had formed a large team. The leader of the 10-man team under the command of the Son of the Stars was beside himself with joy. He took out a communication spirit stone and reported the good news to the Son of the Stars. Ha 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 ha. Big brother stars. Great joy. Great joy. I've formed alliances with other teams of immortals. Now, the number of people on my team has exceeded 100. Now, even if we encounter Xiaofan head-on, we'll be able to capture him with ease. Master Xing Chunzi immediately replied. His voice was also filled with a beaming smile. Good. You've done well, brother. Now, you can try searching for that bastard Xiaofan. That's right, Xiaofan wouldn't dare face a team of 100 people head-on. If he encountered them, he'd have no choice but to flee. Listen up, activate the communication spirit stone at all times. If you encounter Xiaofan, inform me of his location immediately. Alright, big brother stars. I hope we'll encounter Xiaofan today. I'd like to see what he's made of, and how he got his 2 million points. Ha ha ha. The number of immortals ahead has finally exceeded 100. Xiaofan couldn't help but laugh. More than 100, the black-white master and the fish stem exclaimed in unison. Brother Xiaofan, can we make our move now? Xiaofan rubbed his nose, his eyes brimming with killing intent. Big brothers, it's time to make our move. What do we do? The fish stem asked eagerly. Now, he and the black-white master were bursting with confidence in Xiaofan. In their minds, Xiaofan could kill ordinary immortals as easily as picking up weeds. How about this? Xiaofan said after a moment of consideration. I'll charge forward, and you two will follow behind. Then I'll injure all the immortals, and you'll personally take care of them. That way, the power to refine their magic treasures will fall into your hands. Although Xiaofan desperately needed the power of refinement, there were over 100 immortals in front of him. Only a few of the leaders had a decent amount of points, but it wasn't a lot. They only had a few 100,000 or 200,000 points. Most of them were nobodies with very few points. In fact, most of them only had a few thousand points. They weren't worth mentioning. Xiaofan didn't care about these points. They weren't essential. In order to obtain more power to refine the magic treasures, Xiaofan would have to leave the fourth zone and find a way to do so in the arena. Of course, Xiaofan still had to get the Son of the Stars points. Hearing Xiaofan's decisiveness, the fish stem and the black-white master thanked him in low voices. Brother Xiaofan, thank you so much for helping us. We're friends and brothers, Xiaofan said with a smile. We should help each other. Then, he said, I'll charge forward now. Brothers, prepare your immortal tools. We'll clean up the mess at the last moment. All right. As soon as he finished speaking, Xiaofan had already used his movement technique and directly dashed forward. Moreover, he took a detour and arrived in front of the 100-man team. Meanwhile, the 100-man team was still basking in the feeling of superiority and joy of having the advantage of numbers. They didn't even notice the approaching danger and death. In fact, the leader of the 10-man team under the Son of the Stars was chatting and joking with the leaders of the other teams through communication spirit stones. Ha ha ha. Brothers, I've gathered over 100 people. Not bad, right? It's nothing. I was lucky enough to gather 200 people. Ha ha ha. Even Big Brother Star is full of praise for me. I've also gathered 96 people. Although it's not over 100, it's not far from it. Yes, our plan has been carried out perfectly. Now that we have the advantage of numbers, Xiaofan won't dare to attack us openly. I bet he can't even hide. Now, we can start searching for Xiaofan. Dig 3 feet into the ground, find him, grind his bones, scatter his ashes, and cut him into pieces. However, just as the leader of the Son of the Stars group was chatting with his companions with a smug look on his face, something happened. All of a sudden, the 100-man team stopped in their tracks. The chaotic scene instantly quieted down. All the immortals fixed their eyes on something in front of them. Ahead of them was a slender young man with a somewhat youthful appearance. Treading on clouds, he walked toward the group of immortals. There was not the slightest trace of fear in his eyes. It was none other than Xiaofan. Ha 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 ha. A few of the immortals made strange noises from their throats. The Son of the Stars leader suddenly screamed, Xiaofan. You brat! How dare you show up like this? You're courting death. I'm only here to... Xiaofan smiled bitterly, then said with a serious expression, to kill you scum. Chapter 654. The team of 100 immortals were all in a state of shock at this moment. They hadn't expected that Xiaofan would dare show himself after things had developed to this point. After all, there were 100 immortals here. Among them, a small number of immortals had refined immortal artifacts and magic treasures into their bodies. It was a formidable lineup. Even Master Jia Lanzi and the Son of the Stars, who were among the best of the younger generation in the immortal world, would be surrounded and killed if they didn't use their heaven-defying immortal tools or magical treasures. Even if a level 3 true immortal were to descend upon this place, it would be like ants biting an elephant to death. Therefore, no matter what, Xiaofan shouldn't have stepped forward so boldly and confidently. In the next moment, the group of immortals spread out and used their movement techniques to surround Xiaofan. They were trapped in the core. Xiaofan didn't move an inch. He smiled but said nothing. When the immortals completely surrounded Xiaofan, they immediately used their celestial senses to scan their surroundings. They suspected that Xiaofan was up to no good, and they were wary of Xiaofan's men lying in ambush. But, apart from Xiaofan and the 100 of them, there was nothing out of the ordinary. The black-white child and the fish stem had followed Xiaofan's instructions to hide in an area where the immortals' immortal senses couldn't find them. When Xiaofan made his move, the black-white child and the fish stem would rush out to clean up the mess. How strange. There's no ambush in the surroundings. The sword immortal looked at Xiaofan in confusion. Xiaofan, you're a special mortal. The current situation can't be any worse for you. You're facing so many immortals, and you've been locked down by our immortal senses. You've already been locked down by our immortal senses, and there's no way you can escape. Moreover, it's impossible for you to possess a trump card that can kill all of us. You coming out is simply courting death. Yes, you're courting death, do you know that? Ha ha ha, courting death? Xiaofan couldn't help but laugh. You immortals. You're so full of superiority even in the face of death. How laughable. How laughable. At the same time, the leader of the Son of the Stars 10-man team let out a shriek into the communication stone. Big Brother Star Sun. Big Brother Star Sun. Brothers. We've surrounded him. We've surrounded Xiaofan. Catching a turtle in a jar. Right now, it's like catching a turtle in a jar. The Son of the Stars' voice came from the communication stone, panting heavily. They trembled in fear. Capture him. Roar. We can't let him escape this time. Don't kill him yet. Break his arms and legs. Leave a life. When I rush over, I will ravage and torture him. The skin and flesh on his body were peeled off piece by piece, inch by inch. Break all his bones, piece by piece. After a brief pause, the Son of the Stars howled. Quick, tell me your coordinates. I'll be right there. Quick. One of Master Star's subordinates said, all right. He nodded immediately. Just as he was about to give the approximate coordinates, Xiaofan made his move. Xiaofan's soul trembled slightly. Psychic energy suddenly spread out. The solid spiritual power star in his sea of consciousness suddenly squirmed. Densely packed spiritual daggers had already been born. After Xiaofan had comprehended a little bit of Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's Saber Dao, his soul and psychic energy had also increased by a lot. Therefore, the daggers that Xiaofan had created with his soul and psychic energy were of a higher quality than before. The quality of the daggers was even higher than before. At this moment, Xiaofan was surrounded by thousands of daggers, glittering with immortal light and rising immortal energy, making Xiaofan look like an immortal descending to the mortal world. He was like a god worshipped by mortals. As soon as Xiaofan unleashed the soul and psychic daggers, the immortals on the other side instantly felt a sense of crisis before death. It was an intuition. An intuition that death was about to strike. Attack him. There's something strange about this guy. A few immortals with stronger combat strength roared. Then, some of the immortals who had refined and controlled Dharma treasures in the team of about 100 immortals unleashed the Dharma treasures in their bodies and were about to activate them to attack Xiaofan. At the same time, the immortals who had not refined and controlled Dharma treasures began chanting incantations, about to unleash their most powerful immortal skills to kill Xiaofan. Suddenly, the immortals who had surrounded Xiaofan were stirred up. All kinds of immortal light shot up into the sky, and auspicious clouds and auspicious chi were stirring. However, this seemingly peaceful atmosphere was actually filled with murderous intent. It was the atmosphere of a desperate struggle. In fact, the current situation was extremely dangerous. It should be noted that Xiaofan was an ordinary person, and he was not wearing any immortal armor. Although his physical defense was comparable to that of an ordinary level 4 true immortal, he was facing the attack of hundreds of immortal skills, including several powerful immortal weapons and Dharma treasures. His life and death were hanging by a thin line. One careless move and he would be blasted into pieces. In the blink of an eye, the immortal's attack was about to take shape. Puff! 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 The thousands of daggers formed from Xiaohan's soul had already shot out in all directions, with Xiaofan as the center. They were so fast that they happened to be even faster than the immortal's attacks. Moreover, Xiaofan controlled the daggers as if they were his own limbs. He was purely controlling his own thoughts. Under Xiaohan's precise control, every dagger was aimed at the spot that Xiaofan wanted it to be. The next moment, every immortal's hands, legs, shoulders, and even dantian were full of daggers. Their bones were visible. Not only did they interrupt the immortal's attacks, they were instantly crippled. More than 100 immortals were crippled. Ah! My arms and legs! All the immortal chi in my body has been destroyed. Damn it! Such a perverted and terrifying method, he's definitely not immortal. Heart-wrenching, lung-splitting screams rose and fell, resounding throughout this area. The immortal weapons and Dharma treasures in the hands of several leading immortals fell before they could fully activate their power. They were damaged by Xiaohan's spiritual daggers. Xiaohan's attack was a complete victory. However, he had expended a lot of his psychic power, and he felt a little dizzy. Big brother Black-White. Big brother Yu Yangzi, do it. Xiaofan didn't hesitate as he roared. Boom! Boom! In the distance, the black-white sun and fish stem charged out the moment Xiaofan made his move. In less than a breath's time, they arrived. Each of them unleashed their immortal weapons and spells to finish off more than 100 immortals who had been crippled. Points and treasures rose like rivers into the sea. The power of refinement flowed into the black-white sun and fish stems' bodies like rivers flowing into the sea, allowing them to reap all the benefits. More than 100 immortals were dead. The son of the stars' terrified voice came from the communication spirit stone that had fallen and floated in midair. What happened? What the hell happened? Tell me. What's going on? Xiaofan grabbed the communication spirit stone with his right hand. He laughed heartily. Ha 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 ha, Master of Stars and his lackeys, what kind of hunting leader plan are all of you? You want to rely on your numerical advantage to surround and kill me, Xiaofan. However, ha 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 ha, I've disappointed all of you. This group of immortals numbered more than 100, but I killed them all. This is just the beginning. Son of the Stars and the other immortals, it'll be your turn soon. Ha ha ha. I, Xiaofan, will kill all of you. Leave no one alive. After saying that, Xiaofan brought black and white sun and fish stem and disappeared from the area at an extremely fast speed. On the other side of the communication spirit stone, the son of the stars held a communication spirit stone in his hand. His expression was unsightly. At this moment, there were more than 300 immortals standing beside Master Xingqianzi. Originally, these 300 immortals, including the son of the stars, had been in a celebratory mood. They'd thought that their plan was perfect and that they'd capture Xiaofan sooner or later. Moreover, they'd just received word that 100 immortal team had surrounded Xiaofan. This was a sure thing. The son of the stars was already discussing with some of the immortals around him how to torture Xiaofan. Who would have thought that the tides would turn in the blink of an eye? The 100 immortal team that had surrounded Xiaofan had been completely wiped out in a few breaths' time. On top of that, Xiaofan had even told them the secret of the hunting leader plan. The son of the stars felt as if someone had smashed him in the head with a club, sending him into a daze. The 300 immortals standing around Master Xing were flabbergasted. They exchanged glances with one another, completely dumbfounded. After a moment of dead silence, the Son of the Stars said hoarsely, "It's the same as last time. It's the same as last time. The moment we surrounded Xiaofan, our men were annihilated by him. The difference is that last time, Xiaofan annihilated my 10-man team, but this time, Xiaofan annihilated a 100-man team. And the similarity is that when he annihilated the 10-man team and the 100-man team, he only used a few breaths of time. He killed them all in one go, without the slightest bit of hesitation. Xiaofan, what kind of immortal slaughtering magic treasure does he have in his hands?" One of the immortals beside the Son of the Stars gulped and said with great difficulty, "Just like last time, Xiaofan killed all of our men as soon as we surrounded him. Xiaofan just said that he wants to kill all of us immortals through the communication spirit stone. He wiped out a team of 100 people with a wave of his hand. That means, he really does have the ability to wipe us out." Qin Mu's eyes widened. "Son of the Stars. Your hunting the Alpha Sheep plan has really failed. Xiaofan has already seen through your plan. Now, we're being led by the nose by Xiaofan. Who's the prey and who's the hunter? It looks like Xiaofan is hunting us. He's going to kill us one by one and make us feel the pressure of death. Let's call off our alliance, Son of the Stars. We don't want to get involved in this mess anymore. You've got your wishful thinking on your hands, Son of the Stars. Now that you can't defeat someone as powerful as Xiaofan, you're dragging us down with you." The immortals who had been recruited by Xing Qinzi began to clamor and criticize Xing Qinzi. Many immortals even wanted to draw a clear line between themselves and Xing Qinzi and go their separate ways. "Shut up." The Son of the Stars let out an enraged roar that caused the space around him to tremble, and the immortals around him to fall completely silent. "There's no turning back now. You idiots. Xiaofan has decided to fight us to the bitter end. He won't let any of us get away. He's ruthless and decisive. Do you think you can beg Xiaofan not to kill you just because you've drawn a line between yourself and the Son of the Stars? How naive." The Son of the Stars roared. However, at this moment, the high-spirited Son of the Stars seemed to have aged a great deal. To be continued. If you like this work, you're welcome to vote for it at Qidian. Your support is my greatest motivation. For mobile users, please read it at Qidian. 9. Chapter 655. The shock that Xiaofan had inflicted on the Son of the Stars and the Immortals was intense. The fact that he had single-handedly killed a team of over 100 Immortals was already a freakish, heaven-defying feat. The hundreds of Immortals who'd been recruited by Master Xing Qinzi were all panicking like cranes in the wind. They wanted nothing more than to disperse in a hubbub, and some of them even felt like they were in danger. They'd been scared out of their wits by Xiaofan, a mere mortal, and had lost their will to fight. However, the Son of the Stars reminded the Immortals that Xiaofan wouldn't let go of any of the Immortals in the Fourth Realm. "What we need to do now isn't to split up, but to unite," the Son of the Stars said with a livid expression. "Only by uniting will we be able to get through this crisis." Humph. Xiaofan has slaughtered Immortals without holding back, which proves that he's a decisive killer. If we don't kill him, he'll kill us. There's no turning back. We've been forced into a dead end. There's no turning back now. Upon hearing this, the clamorous Immortals fell silent and looked at the Son of the Stars. "AI. You've put us in a lot of trouble, Son of the Stars." Some of the Immortals beat their chests and stamped their feet, but didn't voice any more objections. They agreed with the Son of the Stars. "We're in grave danger now, Son of the Stars," one of the Immortals asked. "How should we unite? No more splitting up. We won't give Xiaofan a chance to take us down one by one." The Son of the Stars quickly came up with a solution. "Now, I'll use the communication spirit stone to summon all of my teams back. I have 6 more teams outside, and each team has recruited quite a few immortals. If I can recruit all of them, then I'll be able to summon all of them back. If we can recruit all of them, we'll be able to take in over 1,000 people. Humph. I don't believe that Xiaofan can play any tricks with 1,000 immortals gathered together. The Son of the Stars seemed to have regained some of his confidence. Let's stay here for now and not move. I'll summon my men back. Once everyone has gathered, we'll search for Xiaofan at all costs. Once we find him, we'll have over 1,000 immortals fight him. Over 10,000 immortals were fighting against a mortal. Those words sounded absolutely absurd, but they sounded so righteous coming from the Son of the Stars' mouth. It was reasonable. The surrounding immortals all nodded in agreement. All right. Until now, this was the only way. Xingchunzi, hurry up and gather your men. Some of the immortals hurriedly urged. The Son of the Stars nodded. All right. Then, he took out a communication spirit stone from his robe and started sending voice transmissions to his subordinates. At this moment, Xiaofan, Black and White Child, and Yu Yangzi had returned victorious. They were simply full of rewards. That was because the Black and White seeds and the fish seedlings had shared a large amount of benefits. Each of them now had more than 30 million points. There were countless Dharma treasures in his body and the power of refinement surged. Ha ha ha. Xiaofan laughed heartily. Now, with your points, you will definitely rank in the top 10 of the 4th region scoreboard. There is no doubt about that. It's all thanks to you, brother Xiaofan. The Black and White seeds and the fish seedlings laughed as well. After a pause, the Black and White seeds continued. Brother Xiaofan, just now, you single-handedly killed a group of over 100 immortals. It's no exaggeration to say that even if you were a level 2 true immortal in the immortal world, they wouldn't be a match for you as long as you don't use any heaven-defying Dharma treasures or artifacts. TSK, you're still immortal at the end of the day. Once you become an immortal, you'll be unimaginably terrifying. Heh. Brother Xiaofan, if I'm not mistaken, you haven't used your trump card yet, have you? Your real trump card is the dragon-formed saber energy. Yu Yangzi licked his lips. Even if dozens of immortals joined forces, they would be instantly annihilated. That's a heaven-defying killing weapon. There's no need to use saber energy to deal with some immortals, Xiaofan said confidently. The Black and White seed said, Brother Xiaofan, the Son of the Stars must be panicking right now. Ha 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 ha, he'll never imagine that you're strong enough to kill 100 immortals with a wave of your hand. His so-called hunting the sheep leader plan has completely failed. The Son of the Stars will feel more and more psychological pressure, and he'll be on the verge of collapse. The fish seedling's eyes were filled with the thrill of revenge. Then, he looked up at the sky and murmured, Big Brother Su Huizi, do you see that? Brother Xiaofan is taking revenge for you bit by bit. Xiaofan suddenly said. That's right. Brothers, now that the Son of Stars' plan to hunt the leader has failed, he'll definitely change his strategy and come up with another plan to deal with us. How about this, we'll increase our flying speed and search for the other small teams of the Son of Stars scattered in the 4th district. We'll find out the Son of Stars' current plan from them. All right. The Black and White seed's immortal energy surged and transformed into an immortal cloud. Let's go. We'll search the 4th region as fast as we can. Brother Xiaofan, your soul and psyche waves have a detection range of 80 kilometers. It won't be difficult for you to find the Son of the Stars puppets. Let's go. Xiaofan and the fish seedlings jumped onto the immortal cloud. The immortal cloud traveled over 100 kilometers in a single leap. While flying, Xiaofan suddenly smiled at the fish seedlings. Big brother seedlings, there's a bottle of mind-replenishing pills in your dantian that can recover mental strength. Use the power of refinement to refine the restriction, then give it to me. Xiaofan was fully aware of the condition of the Black and White seeds and the fish seedlings' treasures. He'd relied entirely on his mental strength and soul power to kill the immortals just now. As a result, Xiaofan's mental strength and soul power hadn't reached a state of overdraft, but it was still somewhat drained. Coincidentally, there was a bottle of mental strength replenishing immortal pills in the fish seedling's dantian. It was suitable for Xiaofan to consume. Hiss! The fish seedlings inhaled sharply and looked at Xiaofan with a horrified gaze. Brother Xiaofan, there are thousands of treasures in my body right now. Even I can't sort them all out in a short time. Yet, you're able to accurately know that there's a bottle of mental strength replenishing immortal pills among all these treasures? This is too miraculous. Too miraculous. The black and white seeds were astonished as well. Xiaofan didn't explain further. He merely dismissed the matter with a laugh. Of course, the fish seedlings and the black and white seeds wouldn't pursue the matter. The fish seedlings immediately used their mental strength to break the restriction on the mind-replenishing pills. Then, they took out an antique medicine bottle and handed it to Xiaofan. Xiaofan took the medicine bottle and opened it. Rays of rainbow light immediately shot out. It was a wondrous sight to behold. There were no less than 100 pills in the medicine bottle. Each pill could replenish a large amount of mental strength. This is great. The effects of this mind-replenishing pill are so strong. As soon as Xiaofan smelled the wondrous medicinal fragrance, the withered, solid mental power planet in his sea of consciousness came to life. About one mind-replenishing pill is enough to restore my mental strength and soul to its peak. Xiaofan immediately took out a pill and swallowed it. Soon, a flawless halo of mental strength seeped out from the center of Xiaofan's brows. In an instant, Xiaofan's mental strength and bearing became much more vigorous. His blood and qi surged like a tide. All right. Now that I've killed another 100 immortals, I won't feel tired anymore. Xiaofan smiled relaxedly. The black and white seeds and the fish seedlings marveled inwardly. Zone 4. It wasn't just Xing Chunzi who was burning with anxiety. After receiving his message, the teams under his command, as well as the immortals they'd recruited, were also in a state of complete panic. He was terrified. Horrified. Behind a mountain, there were close to 200 immortals. All of them had terrified looks on their faces. One of them, a small leader under Xing Chunzi's command, held a communication spirit stone in his hand. Don't panic, everyone. Stay calm. Roar. What the hell? That Xiaofan is completely different from what you've described. You said he earned 200 million points by luck, but he killed 100 immortals all by himself. He's even stronger than Xing Chunzi. You idiots. How dare you trick us into teaming up and fighting Xiaofan together? You're pushing us into a pit of fire. Naturally, the immortals they'd recruited also began to yell. All right. Don't make a fuss, everyone. Arguing won't help matters. Besides, even if you didn't ally with Big Brother Xing Chunzi, Xiaofan would still kill you. That kid has a murderous nature, and he's a monster. One of the leaders under Xing Chunzi's command apologized repeatedly. Big Brother Xing Chunzi has a new plan. What plan? All the immortals in Zone 4, don't scatter. Gather together. Gather around Big Brother Xing Chunzi. When the time comes, we'll have more than 10,000 people, the leader said with narrowed eyes. When the time comes, we'll fight Xiaofan in the final battle. The final battle. I don't believe that Xiaofan can fight against 10,000 immortals by himself. With that, the minor leader of Master Xing Chunzi's subordinates offered a few more words of advice, which convinced the immortals around him to return to Master Xing Chunzi's side with him. Meanwhile, in Zone 4, the other groups of immortals also received Xing Chunzi's message, and converged in his direction without stopping. Meanwhile, Xiaohan, the black and white child, and Yu Yangzi were also flying at high altitudes, searching for traces of the other immortals. I seem to smell the eve of the final battle. Xiaofan said with a faint smile. Chapter 656. The Fourth Region. As expected, the son of Xing Chen and the hundreds of immortals around him stayed where they were. They were waiting. Waiting for the various factions to gather. For some inexplicable reason, the immortals felt extremely anxious. Some immortals couldn't help but pace back and forth in place. Sweat beaded on the foreheads of some immortals, and their eyes were bloodshot. At this moment, our people are back. The son of the stars suddenly became excited as he looked to the east. A few breaths later, we're back, big brother Xing Chen. Xiao. As far as the son of stars' eyes could see, a group of people suddenly charged out from the east. The leader of the group was a leader of a 10-man team under the son of Xing Chen's command. The team had recruited some other immortals as well, adding up to about 100 people. Now that these 100 people had returned to the son of Xing Chen's side, the two groups added up to nearly 500 people. Rendezvous. The son of Xing Chen looked around at the immortals and let out a long sigh of relief. The power of unity is strong. Everyone, we have a strong army now. There's no need to worry too much about Xiaofan. As long as we join forces, we'll definitely be able to fight him. After a pause, the son of Xing Chen looked off into the distance with a slight frown, then spoke in a barely audible voice. There are still 5 groups of people outside. I hope they'll be able to gather here soon. I hope no accidents happen. It should be noted that the various immortal teams were scattered randomly in the Fourth Region. Some were closer to the son of Xing Chen, while others were further away. Even if the son of Xing Chen wanted to gather them, he couldn't possibly get them all to return at the same time. They would definitely return one after the other. In the depths of his heart, the son of Xing Chen was silently praying that the 5 groups of people outside would return to his side safely. Xiaofan had tormented the son of Xing Chen like a bird startled by the mere twang of a bow. Xiaofan, the black-white child, and Yu Yangzi traversed the Fourth Region on a rainbow-like immortal cloud. After Xiaofan had taken a great mental supplement pill, his depleted mental strength was already full. Xiaofan was in high spirits. A powerful soul fluctuation spread out, extending for 80 li. As he flew, Xiaofan's position kept changing rapidly. However, the range of his spiritual sense was maintained at a range of 80 miles. This way, Xiaofan would be able to monitor his surroundings. Xiaofan was also very confident. If we fly at such a high speed, coupled with my detection range, we'll definitely be able to find the immortal teams under the Son of the Stars' command. Sure enough, after flying for a short while, Xiaofan scanned the area with his soul force. About 60 li to the west, a group of immortals appeared within Xiaofan's range. Brother Black and White, fly to the west. Slow down a bit. Xiaofan immediately said to Heibai. The black and white chess controlled the immortal cloud under their feet and headed west according to the direction Xiaofan pointed out. Yu Yangzi whispered, Brother Xiaofan, have you found the target? I found a group of immortals. There are about. Xiaofan's psyche waves locked onto the group of immortals. 154 people. A few of them have refined magical treasures, but most of them are small fries. One of them is holding a communication spirit stone. It seems he's a leader under the Son of the Stars' command. Good, very good. They look like they're in a hurry, as if they're on their way. Interesting. Xiaofan focused all of his attention on the group of immortals. The group of immortals still didn't know that Xiaofan had his eyes on them. At this moment, they were on their way to the Son of the Stars' location. One by one, they were shouting. Hurry! Hurry up! It's already dusk. Let's try to return to Big Brother Xing Chenzi's side before the sky turns dark, the leader of Xing Chenzi's subordinates hurriedly barked. Now, after that incident, the entire Fourth Region is in a state of panic, and no one is able to find peace. If we run into Xiaofan while we're wandering around, we'll have to fight a bloody battle. Besides, forget it. The sooner we get back to Big Brother, the sooner we'll be safe. That's right, another immortal said solemnly. Although we have more than 100 people, we don't dare to wander around anymore. Only by returning to Big Brother's side can we ensure that we won't be assassinated by Xiaofan one by one. Ah, I didn't expect us immortals to be forced into a corner, and by a mere mortal no less. How depressing. It's fine. Once we get back to Big Brother's side, we won't have to run like this. We can raise our battle flags and take the initiative to kill Xiaofan. How can 1,000 immortals not be able to kill Xiaofan? I don't believe he's some god descended from the heavens. The immortals couldn't help but discuss nervously as they hurried along. In the second level of the treasure, not only was the coverage of the immortals' immortal senses restricted to a range of a few miles, but their flying speed was also affected. It was definitely not as fast as flying outside. Otherwise, these teams of immortals would have rushed back to regroup with Xing Qinzi long ago. At this time, Xiaofan had already heard the words of the immortal team. Oh, the Son of the Stars has changed his strategy. He's going to gather all the immortals and increase their numbers to over 1,000. Then, he'll fight me again. The black-white child blinked. The Son of the Stars is truly shameless. He wants to gather 1,000 immortals to fight you, Brother Xiaofan. He's afraid of death. He's clearly very wary of you, Brother Xiaofan, and doesn't dare face you alone. The more the merrier, Fish Rib said with a smile. Soon after, he furrowed his brows. But if he really does gather 1,000 immortals, it won't be easy to deal with them. Yes, although Xiaofan's battle prowess was terrifying, it was impossible for him to fight against 1,000 immortals alone. Even in the world of immortals, a level 4 true immortal, or even a level 5 true immortal who cultivated powerful immortal arts and wielded extraordinary treasures, could only die in a desperate fight against 1,000 level 2 true immortals. Brother Xiaofan, the black-white child said. Brother Xiaofan, since we've discovered that the immortals are moving in the Son of the Stars direction, we can intercept them in advance. We can prevent them from converging. Yes, Xiaofan nodded slightly and then smiled. We will definitely kill him. However, now is not the time. After pausing for a moment, Xiaofan continued. We'll keep an eye on them. When they're close to the Son of the Stars, we'll make our move. That way, we'll be able to find the Son of the Stars' location with them leading the way. My psychic waves can cover an area of 80 kilometers. The Son of the Stars and the other immortals' immortal senses can only cover a few kilometers. That way, I'll be able to find the Son of the Stars' location in advance without being discovered. That way, I'll have the upper hand. Xiaofan was very confident. All right. Brother Xiaofan, let's not make our move for now. We'll follow the immortals until we find the Son of the Stars. The black-white child and Fish Rib said in unison. Dusk approached. The day was nearing its end. Like an old man past his twilight years. In the Son of the Stars area. Currently, only one of the 6 groups had returned to Master Xing Qinzi's side. The other 5 groups had yet to return. This made the immortals around the Son of the Stars feel uneasy. Big Brother Son of the Stars, are the others going to be fine? That Xiaofan is not only decisive in his killing, but also cunning and treacherous. One of the immortals asked worriedly. Don't tell me that kid is going to kill our people halfway? The Son of the Stars shook his head with a grim expression. There's no danger for the time being. Although the other 5 groups haven't met up with us yet, I've asked them through communication spirit stones. They're on their way here, and their journey has been peaceful. They haven't been ambushed by Xiaofan. Moreover, they'll soon return and meet up with us. That's good. That being said, the immortals were still nervous. It wasn't hard to imagine that if the other groups were ambushed by Xiaofan, the Son of the Stars' morale and faith would plummet again. Their psychological defenses would crumble. The group of immortals that Xiaofan was following. There were 154 of them. Hurry! Hurry! We're less than 50 kilometers away from Big Brother Star's group. We'll meet up with Big Brother Star soon, the leader of the Star's subordinates urged. Behind them. Oh. We're about to find the Son of the Star's location. Less than 50 kilometers? Xiaofan, who had been waiting for his prey, tensed up his entire body and condensed the solidified mental power star in his sea of consciousness. Big brothers, Xiaofan instructed in a low voice, as soon as the Son of the Stars appears within range of my psychic fluctuations, I'll attack the group of immortals ahead of us. Big brothers, prepare your immortal weapons and finish them off. Alright, let's get closer to the group of immortals ahead of us. We'll keep a distance of 5 to 5 kilometers from them so we can launch an attack instantly. Alright. The black-white child and Yu Yangzi grew serious and slowly took out their immortal weapons. Xiao xiao xiao, the three of them closed in on the group of immortals ahead of them. In front of them. We're only a few dozen kilometers away from Big Brother Star's group. I've already sent word to Big Brother Star. We'll meet up with them in a few dozen breaths. The tense expressions of the immortals ahead of them finally relaxed. They were as relaxed and happy as birds returning to their nests. Finally, we can sleep in peace, on Xiaofan's side. Finally. The Son of the Stars and the other immortals appeared within range of Xiaofan's psychic fluctuations. The current situation was, the group of immortals that Xiaofan was following was about 70 kilometers away from the Sons of the Stars group. Xiaofan, on the other hand, was about 10 kilometers away from them. Xiaofan was 80 kilometers away from the Sons of the Stars. Now's the time. Big brothers, attack. Be quick and decisive. Kill all the scum in front of us. Xiaofan shouted excitedly. Chapter 657. The group of immortals Xiaofan had been following was about to join up with Master Xing's main force. This caused their taut hearts to completely relax. Do. Their faces were full of smiles. Alright, it's finally settled. The immortals were all very lazy. As long as we join up with the main force, our numbers will increase dramatically. Then we won't have to fear Xiaofan's harassment. Ha ha ha. That's right, we have the numbers advantage. What would Xiaofan dare do? Some of the immortals had forgotten their earlier fear of Xiaofan, and were instead mocking him. Meanwhile, Master Xing was all smiles. Good. The second group will join up with us. That'll bring our numbers to nearly 700. Very good, everything is going according to my plan. However, in the midst of this extremely peaceful, even somewhat warm atmosphere, something terrible happened. Whoosh! 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 A dense swarm of jade-colored daggers filled the sky like locusts, appearing out of thin air. They formed a net and flew toward the group of immortals Xiaofan had been following. This could also be considered a sneak attack. From beginning to end, the immortals hadn't noticed that Xiaofan, the god of death, had been following them for several hours. Xiaofan was brimming with psychic power. The quality of the daggers he'd conjured was far superior to the immortal treasures used by ordinary level 2 true immortals in the world of immortals. Moreover, the daggers were Xiaofan's thoughts. Xiaofan was unleashed. It was incredibly fast. Moreover, he could control the angle and position of the daggers at will. Even in a head-on battle, most of these immortals wouldn't be able to evade the countless daggers that filled the sky, let alone sneak attacks that were currently being carried out against the unsuspecting. Moreover, every immortal in the group was in a state of complete relaxation. In a situation where he was completely defenseless, thud. 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 In less than a tenth of a breath's time, Xiaofan's psychic daggers had pierced through the bodies of all 154 immortals. Their immortal energy was obliterated, and they howled like animals in a slaughterhouse. The instant the immortals were crippled by Xiaofan, Yu Yangzi and the black and white child joined hands to take out their immortal artifacts and Dharma treasures. Like the autumn wind sweeping away the fallen leaves, 154 immortals. In an instant, it exploded into pieces. All sorts of points, Dharma treasures, and refinement power surged into the bodies of black and white child and fish rib. Xiaofan also took out his storage ring and collected the countless fragments of the immortals' corpses into it. Then, he laughed heartily and said, "Son of Stars, I've come personally to give you a generous gift. I hope you'll accept it." Ha ha ha. Even Xingqunzi, who was dozens of miles away, could hear it clearly. However, after Xiaofan succeeded, he did not stop. Together with Black, White, and Yu Yangzi, they summoned their immortal clouds and flew away. The Son of Stars. Boom. 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 Xingqunzi and the immortals around him could only see a sky full of immortal light several dozen kilometers away. Images of immortals falling filled the air, accompanied by blood-curdling screams that made one's hair stand on end. The smiles on the faces of the Son of Stars and the other immortals froze, as if they were newborn babies that had died in their wombs. The immortals were stupefied. Then, Xiaofan's lazy yet provocative voice rang out from afar, "Son of Stars, I've come here personally to give you a generous gift. I hope you'll accept it." Ha 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 ha. The Son of Stars finally snapped out of his daze. Roar. Xiaofan. It's you again. You filthy animal. The Son of Stars' eyes bulged as if they were going to pop out of their sockets. The corners of his eyes were torn, and blood seeped out. After that, Son of Stars' figure flashed explosively towards the location of the incident, and he howled like an injured wild beast. Xiaofan. Bastard. I'll grind your bones to dust. The Son of the Stars and the other immortals also charged into the fray. By the time they reached the scene of the commotion, Xiaofan was already gone. All that was left in the air were the remains of the fallen immortals, the strong aura of death, and the vengeful spirits that filled the sky. Why? Why did this happen? Why did Xiaofan come to our doorstep? Why? The Son of Stars threw his head back and wailed. His voice was filled with a sense of being at the end of his rope. The immortals around the Son of Stars were even more shocked. Their souls had flown out of their bodies. Xiaofan's assassination method was too brutal. The Son of Stars had repeatedly asked the returning immortal squads to be careful not to be followed by Xiaofan. These immortal squads had been very cautious. They had reported to the Son of Stars at all times on their way back. They hadn't been followed by Xiaofan. However, at the moment of their deaths, the immortals suddenly realized that the fallen immortal squad had been followed by Xiaofan. Like maggots in one's bones. However, the fallen immortal squad hadn't realized it even before they died. Xiaofan had been keeping an eye on this group of immortals the entire time, but he hadn't made a move yet. Only when they were close to the Son of Stars headquarters did he brazenly make a move. This was tantamount to directly challenging the Son of Stars, slapping him in the face. Moreover, this kind of courage could only be described as terrifying. It was the work of a peerless hero. 3. Xiaofan had only used 1 or 2 breaths of time to destroy this team of 154 immortals. It had happened in the blink of an eye. Terrifying. Too terrifying. The immortals felt chills run down their spines. At this moment, the Son of the Stars revealed his hysterical state. He was completely deranged. Chase. Xiaofan is nearby. Chase him. We'll all go after him. I don't believe that we can't kill Xiaofan with nearly 500 of us. Chase him. I've figured out where he's gone. Go after him. The Son of Stars gave the order. First, he charged at Xiaofan. black and white. He dashed in the direction where Fish Cripple had disappeared. As for the other immortals, they exchanged glances, then followed Master Xingqianzi in hot pursuit. After Xiaofan and the other two fled for a short distance, they stopped. Wait. I'll investigate with my psychic waves. Let's see if the Son of Stars and the other immortals have caught up. Xiaofan's eyes darted around, as if formulating some sort of plan. The black and white children revered Xiaofan as if he were a god. The fact that Xiaofan could wander among countless immortals with ease and kill them without breaking a sweat was an invincible skill. Xiaofan pondered as he waited and quickly swallowed a mind replenishment pill. It replenished the psychic energy he'd used to slaughter immortals. After a few breaths, Xiaofan smiled faintly. Big brothers. Let's see if the Son of Stars and the others will catch up. Oh. Brother Xiaofan, we just slaughtered over 100 immortals right in front of Master Xingqianzi. That's bound to make him lose his composure. I'm sure he'll come after us. But, Brother Xiaofan, are we waiting for him to catch up to us? Are we really going to fight him head-on? The black-white child was a bit confused. No. Xiaofan smiled faintly. If the Son of Stars catches up to us, then I'll play a game of catch-up with them. Then I'll circle back to the Son of Stars' lair. At this moment, Xiaofan had a completely confident expression on his face, as if he had made up his mind on some kind of plan. Circle around and circle back to the Son of Stars' lair? What's that? White children blinked. Suddenly, the black and white children slapped their foreheads. I get it. Brother Xiaofan, you're trying to lure the tiger away from the mountain. Lure the snake out of its hole. When the Son of Stars comes after us, his lair will be empty. Then, the others heading for his lair won't know what's going on. If they return to their lair without knowing what's going on, you'll be waiting for them and killing them. Ha 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 ha. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. Xiaofan's eyes lit up. Now's not the time to fight the Son of Stars yet. I haven't had enough fun yet, ha 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 ha. This plan of luring the snake out of its hole made Black and White Zi and Yu Yangzi admire Xiaofan from the bottom of their hearts. Soon. Xiaofan. Filthy animal. I'm going to kill you. The Son of Stars' crazed voice echoed from 50 kilometers away. In the blink of an eye, he and hundreds of immortals appeared within the range of Xiaofan's psychic fluctuations. Were you satisfied with the gift just now, Son of Stars? Ha 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 ha. If you want to kill me, then come after me. If you can kill me, that's because you're strong enough. You can take all the point-accumulating treasures you want. However, I don't think you're strong enough, ha 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 ha. Xiaofan laughed mockingly. Then, he led the black and white children away from the Son of Stars and the other immortals. Just like that, the Son of Stars chased after them, while Xiaofan continued to taunt and curse the Son of Stars. The Son of Stars' mind was thrown into chaos. Before long, Xiaofan abruptly turned around. Relying on the coverage of his powerful psychic soul, he somehow brushed past the Son of Stars and the other immortals dozens of kilometers to the left. This way, Xiaofan could circle around the enraged immortals and return to the Son of Stars' lair. The Son of Stars was completely unaware of this. He thought Xiaofan was still fleeing. He led his men and roared as he chased after Xiaofan, as if he wouldn't stop until he caught Xiaofan. Xiaofan, white children, and black and white children quietly made their way to the area where the Son of Stars had been. Then, they waited. Xiaofan's soul ripple spread out, covering a circumference of 80 li as he said with a faint smile. Big brothers, we've successfully lured the Son of Stars away. The Son of Stars is currently in a state of rage and can no longer maintain his rationality. He won't be able to figure out our plan in a short time. Now, let's see if other immortals are coming here. Hee, what awaits them isn't the Son of Stars, but me, Xiaofan. To be continued. Chapter 658. Xiaofan's plan was being carried out perfectly. The Star Child and the other immortals had already chased far into the distance, but they had no idea that Xiaofan had already snuck back into their lair. Xiaofan waited patiently. Soon, Xiaofan noticed something. A team of immortals had indeed appeared within range of Xiaofan's psychic scan. It was a team of 177 immortals. And they were moving toward the lair. Every immortal in the team wore a relaxed and peaceful expression. They were also chatting with one another. Phew, it's been a tough journey. Thankfully, we didn't run into any danger along the way. That demon Xiaofan didn't target us, so we can return safely, that's right. Once we meet up with Big Brother Star Child, we won't have to fear Xiaofan anymore. Yes. I've been in contact with Big Brother Star Child many times. He told us that he's gathered hundreds of immortals, and that the remaining groups are on their way back safely as well. I tried to contact Big Brother Star Child a moment ago, but he didn't reply. There shouldn't be any problems. Big Brother Star Child has hundreds of immortals guarding him. How would Xiaofan dare attack him? We'll be able to meet up with Big Brother Star Child in a few dozen kilometers. That's enough, everyone. Let's hurry up and meet up with Big Brother Star Child. Heh. I'm not afraid that you'll laugh at me, but I've been so worried that Xiaofan will come after us, ha 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 ha. Don't worry too much. Zone 4 is vast and boundless. There's no way Xiaofan will target us. The immortals laughed in a relaxed and cheerful manner as they drew closer and closer to the Star Child's lair. Apart from the immortals who'd gathered around the Star Child, there were 5 other groups in Zone 4. However, Xiaofan had killed one of them, so only 4 remained. The group that had just returned was one of those 4 groups. Heh. Xiaofan saw everything clearly. A mocking smile spread across his face. Big Bro Hey Bai Z, Big Bro Yu Yang Z, prepare to attack. Same old rules. Little Bro will attack first and cripple this group of immortals. Then, Big Bro will deal the finishing blow. Alright, Brother Xiaofan, we're already very familiar with this matter. Ha ha ha. Yu Yangzi laughed softly. Soon, the 3 of them began to prepare their killing intent. The solid mental power star in Xiaofan's sea of consciousness condensed into a ball. Black, White, and Fish Stem also took out their immortal artifacts and prepared their ultimate attacks. On the other side, the team of 177 immortals was getting closer and closer to the lair. In other words, he was getting closer and closer to Xiaofan. None of the immortals could possibly have guessed that the Master of the Stars had already left his headquarters. What awaited them was Xiaofan, and his death. 40 li. 30 li. 10 li, 5 li. Ha ha ha. Big Brother Son of the Stars, we're back. Ha ha ha. Some of the immortals burst into laughter. However, the laughter was abruptly cut off. It stopped abruptly. What's going on? A significant portion of the immortals who hadn't laughed sensed that something was wrong. Then, a large number of immortals released their immortal senses and enveloped the lair. Big Brother Son of the Stars. Big Brother Son of the Stars is nowhere to be seen. It's Xiaofan. It's Xiaofan. Instantly, a group of immortals began to yell in panic. Run! Run! What's going on? Did Big Brother Son of the Stars and the others also? Impossible. How is that possible? The team of 177 immortals was in complete disarray. Just as they were about to lose their composure, Xiaofan wasn't going to give them any chance. Swoosh! 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 Psychic daggers that blotted out the sky and covered the earth stabbed toward them from all angles. None of the immortals, who were on the verge of collapse, could dodge this wave of attacks. Splurt! 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 All 177 immortals were crippled. Cries of agony filled the land. Immortal blood gushed out. Black and White Master and Fish Stem followed up with another stab like the autumn wind sweeping away fallen leaves. Just like the previous times, this team of immortals was wiped out in an instant. Not a single one was left alive. The refining power of all the point-accumulating Dharma treasures was divided among the Black, White, and Fish Stem. Meanwhile, Xiaofan collected the immortals' corpses. In the future, his left demon monarch palm could devour and absorb these corpses to strengthen its demonic power. Ha 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 ha. After doing this, Xiaofan, Black and White Master, and Fish Stem looked at each other and burst into laughter. Brother Xiaofan's foresight is truly flawless. He predicted that after Son of the Stars left the lair, his subordinates would return in confusion. Black and White Master marveled. Apart from the immortals around Son of the Stars, only 3 groups of people were still alive. As for the Son of Star Chenzi, he was completely consumed by rage and hatred. All he wanted to do was capture Xiaofan and torture him to vent his hatred. Son of the Stars had completely lost his bearing and demeanor as an immortal. He chased after Xiaofan, barked, and cursed. Countless vulgar words came out of his mouth. However, after chasing for hundreds of kilometers, Son of the Stars gradually calmed down. He realized that something wasn't right. That's strange. When I was chasing after Xiaofan, he kept provoking and cursing me from afar. But after chasing for hundreds of kilometers, there's no sign of Xiaofan. Moreover, my immortal sense hasn't been able to find Xiaofan. Wait. Son of the Stars' heart sank. An extremely ominous premonition flashed through his mind. Is this another one of Xiaofan's schemes? Instantly, a chill ran down Son of the Stars' spine. He broke out in a cold sweat. Son of the Stars stopped chasing after Xiaofan, his expression as unsightly as it could be. The immortals behind Son of the Stars also swarmed forward and surrounded him. Some of the immortals among them were extremely intelligent, and they all gasped at this moment. Big brother Son of the Stars, I think we've fallen into Xiaofan's trap, luring the tiger away from the mountain. Trembling, Son of the Stars roared. Go back. Go back now. Son of the Stars turned around in a panic and ran back. At the same time, he took out a communication spirit stone and shouted in a hoarse voice. Stop. Don't go back. I've already left the base. Xiaofan, that bastard, is most likely hiding in our base camp. Don't go back in a hurry, on Xiaofan's side. After killing a team of returning immortals, Xiaofan and the others quieted down and waited for their next target. They waited for a second team of returning immortals. After a while, they finally found something. Yet another team of immortals had returned with smug looks on their faces. There were 202 people in this team of immortals. Delighted, Xiaofan hastily said to the black-white child and fish seedling. Big brothers, there's something to do now. Ahahaha. Just as the 202 people were about to reach the nest, and when they were only 40 miles away, they suddenly stopped in their tracks. The immortal in the lead was holding a communication spirit stone in his hand. He was in the middle of a call when his face turned as white as a sheet of paper. What? Big brother Son of the Stars, you're not in the base? Xiaofan is most likely luring the tiger away from the mountain. This is too terrifying. Listen up. Don't get close to the base. Get out. Don't let that bastard Xiaofan take advantage of you. Son of the Stars' hoarse and urgent voice came through the communication spirit stone. I'm flying back. Everyone, go back, the immortal with the communication spirit stone cried out in alarm. At that moment, we can't go. A casual voice rang out. Xiaofan leisurely walked up to them. Xiaofan, the immortals cried out hoarsely as they stared at Xiaofan, their eyes bulging out of their sockets. However, Xiaofan said nothing more. What welcomed them was a swarm of locust-like spiritual daggers. This wave of attacks directly crippled 188 of the 202 immortals, and the rest fled in all directions in terror. Xiaofan's will flashed, and a wisp of majestic saber chi slashed horizontally, cutting several immortals in half. As for the remaining 2 immortals, Xiaofan activated his boots of divine speed and rushed forward, smashing them into pieces with one punch each. At the same time, the black-white child and fish seedling rushed out as well. They quickly finished off the heavily injured and crippled immortals. Right now, Master Xing Chunzi was burning his immortal chi and latent potential to get back to his headquarters as quickly as possible. At the same time, he was also trying to warn his subordinates not to walk right into the trap. However, roar! Xiaofan! You're insane! Xiaofan, let me go. I promise I won't oppose you again, All sorts of screams and wails came from the communication spirit stone. The sound of immortal bodies exploding and shattering rang out incessantly. Then, there was silence. Roar! Xiaofan! You're ruthless. Son of the Stars knew that another wave of his men had perished. This caused him to completely crumble. It was a complete and utter collapse. His psychological defenses were crushed like eggshells. After cleaning up the mess, Xiaofan licked his lips and said, "Big brothers, let's go after them now. It looks like we can't just sit here and wait." Master Star must have seen through our plan, and sent word to his people through a spirit communication stone. Let's not waste our time here. Those immortals won't come knocking on our door. Then, Xiaofan, the black-white child, and the fish seedling